It's the Kangs.
Y'all know what it
sir.
is.
Yes,
Back in the
sir.
building. Back at you with the back at you.
Sir.
Commanders Kings at your service. We were here a week ago, and it was the very first day of the new league year. And the Commanders had yet to really be active. And it's the very next day after our stream last week. Shout out to everybody in the comment section holding us down. Hit the like button on your way in. Subscribe to the content. Subscribe to the channel for more great content if you haven't already done so. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. So the very next day is when they really got active, right? Signed back like 7 dudes from the roster last year. Signed about 3-4 new dudes and really the roster really started to take shape. So what I want to start the night off with, and we got a lot to get to tonight.
Whole bunch.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to start the night off with is what was the most intriguing thing that happened since the last time we talked, Commanders wise, for you?
The most intriguing?
The most intriguing thing that they did over the last week since the last time we spoke was what?
Would I be cheating if I said the restructure of Debo's contract? Because that just happened a couple hours ago.
No, you wouldn't be cheating. If that's the most intriguing thing to you, tell us why. I want to hear why.
I think it's interesting because there's been so much misinformation, or just we don't really know what the deal with Debo's deal was. It's the cap hits $5 million. He's making $17 million. Well, we found out today exactly what Debo's contract consists of, which is going to be 17 fully guaranteed with incentives up to $20 million. And I believe what they did by doing so is knocking out the void year next year, which would have been what, $12 million?
I think something to that effect.
Yeah, 12 to $15 million voided next year. So pretty much he's on a 1-year prove it deal, but he's making a little change, and he can make up to $20 million this year. He's betting on himself, and they're betting on him in 1 year to maybe cash out next offseason. That's intriguing to me. It's also intriguing that Debo had pre-planned things to do down in Florida. You know, I'm excited for him to get in the building and hear from him, you know, because we heard from Laremy Tunsil. He looked like he was sitting on the porch of a plantation. And
He did. I was waiting for him to get some iced tea.
That boy country, boy. That boy.
I was waiting for him to get a glass of iced tea.
That boy was country.
That man was he did a he's one of those. He's one of those. Daron Payne gonna show him the strip clubs in no time. But we heard from Laremy Tunsil. He had a 2020 pandemic Zoom press conference from Plantation Porch, from Cracker Barrel, from wherever he was. We haven't heard from Debo yet. We've been told he's picked number 1. And today we were told about the contract. So to me, that's the most interesting thing. Yes, we made some signings and we brought some guys back. But for me, that was the most interesting thing. What about y'all?
Yeah, for me, I would have to go with signing a lot of the same guys, similar, like at least similar traits on the defensive line. I feel like, hey, I'm happy that they went head first into making sure we're not going to be dead last against the run like we were last year. Last year, we were literally dead last. This year, I would be shocked if we're not at least top 10 with all of the guys that we've brought in, defensive tackle, defensive end, some guys that can play both. Of course, we have like Eddie Goldman in at nose tackle as well. Like at the very least, and then even like corner and safety wise, we brought in guys that can tackle and that can shed a block on receivers to make tackles as well. So at the very least, we're going to be way better against the run. But also, as projected right now, I'm expecting us to take a step back against the pass, but I'm assuming we're going to go pass rusher, probably with our very first pick, wherever that is, trading back, more than likely, whatever it is. I think we're going to do whatever we can to get a true pass rusher in here. But I was pretty intrigued by how many of the same guys we either re-signed or signed, like with Cleveland Farrell. And I mean, a lot of us thinking that, I can't even remember his Dietrich Wise was like a better version of him.
Right.
And then we brought back Sheldon Day,
Jacob Martin.
We signed Jacob Martin. We brought back Jalen Holmes. It's a lot of the guys that
did it feel like overkill to you? Like,
yeah, a little bit. Like
they went over the top. Like they overcorrected for last year. Did that feel like it to you?
Literally. Like it's a lot of the same guys that could do the same things. They have the same strengths, the same weaknesses, maybe to lesser degrees or more degrees. Like this guy may be slightly better at it, or this guy may be slightly worse at the same things, but they're generally all the same mold of guys all along this defensive line. Like right now, pass rush wise, our only hope is that, first of all, scheme through Dan Quinn and Joe Wood Jr. I trust them there to get creative. But right now, Dorrance Armstrong looks consistently how he looked in the playoffs throughout the entire season. If we hope that Jacob Martin, who you signed from the Bears, maybe with more snaps, similar to Dante Fowler, he goes from like 4.5 sacks to double digit, just like Dante Fowler did going from 2023 to 2024 after he got more snaps. Or, I mean, at the very least, be efficient. And then maybe you're hoping Javonte Jean-Baptiste, a 7th-round pick from last year, can step up. He showed flashes, but right now, that's your only pass rushing ability right now. I mean, maybe some of the interior guys, maybe Javon Kinlaw catches on, maybe Johnny Newton becomes who we thought he was, but like edge rusher wise, we just have a bunch of edge setters, run stoppers. That's it.
That's right. Ed.
Yeah, there was a couple things. You got the jersey of Deebo Samuel that came out, Samuel Sr. Some people were surprised to see the Samuel Sr. on the back, but able to see that jersey come out. But no, I mean, you guys brought up good points. Like KJ Osborne coming back was definitely a surprise because they didn't use him at all, but they just brought him back as a camp body. But one of the things I did like, I do like the Nate Herbig signing. I know it's not like a big signing, but we needed somebody to come in and be a good backup, a rotational piece. He's a nasty player. I like him as, positional. I call it positional pivot instead of positional flex. I won't use those words anymore.
It's like saying Voldemort in this fan base.
Play center, guard, and then of course we had to hype up Scott Farrell that's his name, right? Scott Farrell from the Chargers.
Foster,
yeah.
Foster Sorrell. Foster Sorrell.
Boston.
I'm struggling too.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
keep saying Sorrells with an S at the end, and they keep correcting.
Rio said that. Rio said last week we love to put an S on stuff.
Hey, us color folk gonna put an S on a singular word.
that boy Foster Sorrell's over there, man.
Hey, y'all saw Deebo Samuel's jersey number.
Yeah.
Senior. We had to hype up him being 6'7". So we brought him. He's basically going to be the Cornelius Lucas substitution. I'm not going to say replacement, but like substitution, being that swing tackle. So we had to beef with the offensive line a little bit. So that was really it, because we didn't really make a lot of moves after the Dietrich Wise signing that we made right before that we got on stream last week. We didn't really make a lot of moves. We made more depth signings like Herbig and the big 6'7" tackle. So, but I do like the Herbig signing, man, because I think he's really good in the run game. And we brought back Dieter again, a guy that you guys didn't really like, another guy that we just re-signed. But I think instead of putting Dieter in as backup center, you could put Herbig as backup center. You could put Herbig as backup guard. So I think we did improve in that aspect. It's not like a big move, but I think we got better depth-wise on the offensive line. And
can I say something?
As far as the comment saying CP time, we did a lot better with CP time. We got in before 8:40, so I'll say that.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Yes,
and to piggyback off what Ed just said about the offensive line, we added so much offensive line depth that it feels like we may not be taking an offensive lineman in the draft. Is that an odd thing to say, or is that kind of, are y'all reading it too?
I mean, we're so limited in picks. It won't be if we want to say like a significant pick like rounds 1, 2, or 4 that we currently have. I definitely don't see it.
No, right.
Yeah, we have 5 picks. We have 5 picks.
Right.
Guys.
It's literally going to be either 6th or 7th if we do it, or an undrafted guy that they make a priority free agent.
Unless Josh Simmons falls enough, because he's so talented, and they love his medicals. Like whatever medicals came back, and they think he's good to go. Even though if he makes it to 29, I just refuse to believe we would be the only team that likes his medicals. That's the only way I can see it. Otherwise, like Lou said,
I saw a mock. Daniel Jeremiah did a mock, and he fell to the Chiefs. I'm like, there's no way if the medicals are good, he gets past us. Like you'd have to trade up with us. You'd have to trade up with us to get him. Like, there's no way we're not gonna take him if he's on the board and we think he's fine medically. There's no way. I think he had us taken in
Azarea. Azarea from Florida State.
And I need to see some numbers on him because he didn't run at the combine. And anytime you don't run at the combine, I get a little nervous. Are you?
Tape,
What are you hiding from
his
me?
tape look good. He looked good in Senior Bowl week 2.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's one of those that mock draft simulators be having him going like rounds 2 and 3, but all the experts see as a round 1 type guy.
Okay,
he just don't fly like Hairston in them.
Wow, that makes me nervous because we've had corners here in the past that don't run well. I don't want any more dudes that have height and length but they can't run. I don't know if I want to go down that road anymore. But for me, the most intriguing thing that they did was bringing back KJ Osborne, because I don't think any of us saw that one coming. And it's not that I don't think he's a good player, because actually, like, if you would have asked me last year this time if I would have rather had KJ Osborne or any of the guys that they brought in, Olamide Zaccheaus, Jamison Crowder, Luke McCaffrey, any of those dudes, I would have took KJ Osborne. So the fact that he came so late in the season, and it was a lot to ask him to come in here and contribute, but he just to absolutely do nothing was mind-boggling to us, especially with what we had at receiver. I just didn't think he would be back here, but clearly they like KJ Osborne. I like him too. And I actually, you said, Ed, that you think he's a camp body. I think he's going to be on this roster. I really, truly believe he's going to be one of the 6 receivers that's here when this season starts.
New OZ.
I think we got 5. Right now we have Terry, Debo, Luke, KJ, and Noah. And I think there's one more spot for a rookie or somebody that's already on like the practice squad that they like, or some guy that's on somebody else's roster right now that ultimately gets cut or something to that effect. But I think he's going to be a part of this team, and he's a good receiver, and I think he's gonna be solid for us. So that was the one thing that surprised me, but it's a perfect segue into the next question I wanted to ask y'all, because I've been talking about expectations and how, this has to become the new norm for us. But I am uncomfortable with and I'm trying to rewire my brain, because this is who we are now. This is what we are, what we stand for, and this is the standard that has been set. Year 1, we went to the NFC Championship game. There's no turning back now, right? So I saw somebody sent me a clip, and I think it might have been Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, it was
on his show.
Keyshawn.
Yeah. And he asked the question. He pretty much said, it wasn't a question he asked. He pretty much said, with the upgrades that they've made on the team, with Laremy Tunsil, with Debo Samuel, if the Commanders do not make it back to the NFC Championship game, bare minimum, their season is a failure. Jaden Daniels' second season is a failure. Do you agree with that assessment, that this team has to make it to the NFC Championship game next season to validate the season that we have next year? Bare minimum, they have to make it to the NFC Championship game.
No, I think that's an outrageous thing to say. I think the bar should be set that Washington better be contending on a consistent basis, but I don't want to hear that when we see Lamar and Josh Allen them out here balling. They got MVPs on this belt. Like, Lamar's been to 1 AFC championship. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about here? I think we're at that point of the year in between the draft. All the juicy free agent acquisitions have already been completed. They need talking points. And when they talk about Washington, they don't know what to talk about when it comes to this team. They had us not winning 6 games when we went to the NFC Championship. So now all they have to talk about is us coming back to earth, coming back to reality. Every time you turn it on, you hear sophomore slump. You hear, how can Jaden possibly get better from here? You hear all of this conjecture, and it's nonsense, but they need stuff to talk about. If we go back to the playoffs, win a playoff game in year 2, and we contend and we lose a playoff game close to a good football team, that does not mean he regressed in his second year. Listen to how they talk about CJ Stroud in his sophomore slump, not to mention all the things going on with his offensive line. He had 2 receivers out for the season, and He won a playoff game, won double-digit games, and they were a couple weird calls away from being in the AFC Championship. And they talk about CJ Stroud's second year like it was doo-doo, like it was RG3's second year. They just need stuff to talk about, and once they build you up, they have to find ways to bring you back down to reality. They look at what they've done with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes got 3 rings before 30 and been to 5 Super Bowls, and people talking about him like he chumped today. Like he's not the guy still, man. They're going to always find a ways to pick out and nitpick and bring you down. But that's how you know Jaden's one of those guys, because 1 year in, he's already got the bar set like when LeBron came into the NBA, man. I love it.
Did y'all see the Louie joint that was out there with him and Brian Thomas and
yeah. Free clown.
Yo, that's the most uncut and unfiltered I've ever heard Jada. Y'all heard him like that before?
That's how whenever I've seen him on like Brandon Ayuk's socials, when he's with his boys or in the locker room, that's how he is. But in front of like the podium and stuff, he don't want to talk to the media. But around his dudes, he want us, man.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how he is with Bobby Wagner, even to an extent.
Yeah,
that man. He said you lying like shit. You wanted to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. Tell me something. I just wanted to go home. Right? He's like, you lying like shit. Yeah, that was some good stuff. They said the whole joint was on a site. Somebody told me. Did y'all knew about where it was at?
No, I'm not hip to that, but I remember before the draft.
I'm gonna tell y'all. Somebody had sent me a comment.
Y'all
go ahead, keep talking.
But before the draft, I remember them doing Instagram lives, all 3 of them. So I know how he kick it when he with his boys.
Yeah, I mean he's just really well trained for the media, man.
Of course.
He gonna keep it extra vanilla for them, say all of the right things. But when he's around, again, we get snippets of it with him being around Bobby Wagner. After the Bengals game, remember he was yelling to the fans to go home and stuff. Like you get it. You see who he actually is every now and then. And a lot of times you have to hear it through the players too, because I think it was a Jahan Dotson or Mike Sanders still that said every day throughout like one of the offseason camps, he kept reminding him that his college team was trash. Like LSU's better. Yeah. Like every day just kept reminding them for no reason, unprompted, unprovoked, just reminding them. So JD definitely has it in him. He just doesn't show it to the general public. You got to protect that money and that image.
Yeah, got to protect the brand.
Quarterback. Yeah. And then also I completely agree with Rio. Like my whole thing is that failure is a really strong word. Like, are we just not supposed to even start watching this season until we make it to the NFC Championship? Because if anything else is a failure, there's no point of even watching any of the games until we get to that point. And I completely agree with Rio. Like, you have all of these elite quarterbacks that are not going to the AFC or NFC Championship as often as a lot of people act like they do. So Jaden Daniels deserves a little bit more grace. And then even to the point that Pat Mahomes is being talked crazy about as if he wasn't already being put up there with Tom Brady as the best player of all time. It is a what have you done for me lately league, but it wouldn't be a failure. I mean, we could be a little disappointed that we didn't achieve more after having an entire offseason and things like that, but it's not a failure.
Where's the smoke for Trevor Lawrence? Does anyone call Trevor Lawrence a failure on national TV, or am I tripping?
He doesn't generate clicks. That's the problem.
No, right. Like, I'm about to say he's not like that. He's not one of them ones, right?
Oh, you mean generational number ones coming out the womb, Trevor Lawrence? Man, come on, man. They be talking crazy.
Yo soy Trihu. Thank you for sending me the comment. He said it's on a channel called Showroom LA. If y'all looking for that.
Say less.
Showroom LA. Y'all want to see the rest of that. So
I'm gonna watch that.
No, I'm with you guys too, man. Yeah, it's funny seeing Jaden interact with Micah too, like the way he was interacting with Michael when Michael was talking trash. He was just like Michael, like, he was crazy.
Yeah, that look said it all. Like, bro, I ain't even gonna say nothing to you. I ain't even got nothing for you.
Yeah, but no, this is the time where the media has to go out there and talk. Yes, they are trying to tee up that slump like they did with CJ Stroud. Even like you guys said, CJ Stroud had a good season. Like, you made it to the divisional round,
right?
And he won a playoff game. He lost to the Chiefs.
Again.
Yeah, he lost to the Chiefs where went to the Super Bowl. So I think a disappointment obviously would not be making the playoffs, but not making the NFC Championship is not just the end of the world. is something that we want to go to. There's a lot of factors, like we saw 3 fumbles. He can't control that. Like Mark Andrews fumbling the ball and dropping a pass for Lamar Jackson. Those are the things he can't control. Lamar had faults in that game too, where he had turnovers as well. So he's not innocent, but it's factors like that. There's some things that Jaden can't control. If the defense gives up a touchdown at the end of the game, things like that, different factors. We've seen Josh Allen go back and forth with Pat Mahomes many times where just the defense let him down. So certain things like that. But no, I love that the bar is set at the NFC Championship. I mean, our bar used to be 10 wins, 9 wins, 8 wins, or just making the playoffs. Now our bar is to get at least 2 wins in the playoffs, or even potentially a bye in a playoff home game that we should have had last year that we were talking about midway through the season. So I love that this is where the bar is at. I love that this is the conversation. I love the expectations that we've made it this way. And I think Jaden's ready for the challenge for sure. But, for Keyshawn Johnson to say that, I get it. I get he has very high expectations. But for us right now is definitely taking care of business. I would just say, honestly, just, getting at least double-digit wins for sure, taking care of business. You got to sweep the Giants.
Yep.
But looking at the not making the NFC Championship as a failed season, I wouldn't say that just yet.
It's crazy.
I love that's where the bar is. I love that.
Same here. Like, this is what we wanted, and so we can't run from it now that it's here. But that's a real conversation, whether we like it or not.
It is.
You're going to hear that conversation. This is not the first nor the last time you're going to hear that conversation when it comes to this team and the expectations now. With great power comes great responsibility. And Jaden Daniels is one of the best quarterbacks in football. And there is a responsibility that comes with that. And there will be expectations. And we're going to see how broad his shoulders are this season because I got another question coming for you guys here in a second. But this is going to be really interesting. I still have PTSD, but I'm of the mindset that I'm not going to put the baggage of the last 25 years on this group because they've done nothing but change every single negative perception we've had of this organization in a matter of 1 year, right? So I'm not going to put that baggage on them. However, we have never seen this organization in most of our lifetimes. We've never seen this organization follow up a successful season with another successful season, right?
Right.
We've never seen them handle the expectations well. We just haven't. And it spans different coaches, different regimes. Now it's still all under, for the most part, the same ownership group, which was the common denominator. But we've never seen success duplicated from 1 year to the next. So that is the next step for me as a fan, is to see this organization take the success that they had last year, bottle it up, and have that happen again and again and again, and us have that feeling of, okay, we've arrived and this is what we expect from here on out. And so like Ed said, I think you said it perfectly, very eloquently. Like, I love that this is the new bar, right? I love that the new floor is double-digit wins, right? And the new ceiling is, hey, go win the Super Bowl, right? And so we're going to see how this team, and the crazy part is, for as much of the guys as they brought back, it's going to be a totally different team again, right? And so that takes me to my next question. There's been conversations. I know you guys have probably had these individual conversations on your channels as well. You probably had some of these on social media. We talked a little bit about this last week because the fan base was really crashing out over some of the signings or the guys that didn't get signed. Like, man, I forgot his last name. Josh, that he does the draft. He does a really good job. He's a Commanders fan.
Taylor?
Yes, Josh Taylor.
Josh, my boy.
Say Rio boy,
yeah. Rio's boy Josh is hilarious on social media because he sees a lot of the same shit that we see, especially with the fans. And so when the Eagles signed Azeez Ojulari,
fans gonna panic in 3,
2, 1, and because our fan base, we were looking for names, right? A lot of fans were looking for names. And that was one of the names we did throw out. If you weren't going to bring back Dante Fowler Jr., Azeez Ojulari, we even talked about it on this show last week. Like, it was kind of stunning that Azeez Ojulari and Elijah Moore, and I don't think at that point the guard the Eagles had last year, Mekhi Becton. I don't think any of them had signed at that point last year or last week, excuse me, when we were talking. And since then, Becton has gone to the Chargers. Ojulari has gone to the Giants, and I think Elijah Moore is still out there. But do you think that this roster is better right now on paper than the roster that we had the last time you saw this team play in the NFC Championship game? Is the roster on paper, the moves that they've made, and obviously there's still more time to go. I'm actually tracking how many spots are left of the 90 that they have to fill up before we head to camp. We are currently now on 73 players. So there's 17 spots available. You would assume that 5 to 7, I think they're going to get to 7 at the draft when it's all said and done. And they're going to come away with 7 players. That would put you at 80 if they do nothing else. And I assume they're going to do more things before it's all said and done. So they've still got 17 spots to fill. But as of right now, I think we all feel like once they add in the rookies, the meat and potatoes of what this roster is going to look like, it's already here, right? How many more impactful players that are non-rookies are you going to add to this roster at this point? Something dramatic has to happen, like a team has to cut a veteran after having some success in the draft at a position that they didn't expect to have it, and have an opportunity to like a roster bonus on May the 1st. And they're like, nope, not giving you that, and cut a guy, right? You're like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. And you get, but something short of that, you're not coming away with another impactful veteran, more likely than not. Mm-hmm. So is this roster better than it was? And you can assume they add a running back in the draft. If you want to do that, knock yourself out. But this is the meat and potatoes of the guys that they signed. Is this roster better than the last time you saw it in the NFC Championship game?
Yeah, I think so. I think off the trades alone, you got a demonstrably better left tackle and number 2 target on the offensive side of the ball. And already top 5 offense just got better. And you could pretty much shore up 2 positions off that one acquisition based on Brandon Coleman sliding somewhere else on the offensive line. And now guys like Noah Brown and Luke McCaffrey don't have to be depended upon to be the second target on the team. We don't have some rat race to be wide receiver 2 anymore. Debo's going to get all the targets. I'm going to assume some type of running back is going to be acquired in the draft, and some type of edge rusher that can get after the quarterback is going to be acquired in the draft. Yes, the team got better, and that's not to mention the one thing that we know is going to get better in year 2, the quarterback. The quarterback is going to be better. We saw the worst version of Jaden Daniels in his rookie season, and he almost took us to the promised land. What's he going to look like with a year of professional football under his belt? More weapons, more time to throw the football, and a better roster than the year before. Yes, we got better in this offseason. I know people want it to be splashier and sexier. They want those Redskin 1 trips on the plane where we used to sequester guys from their family for 48 hours and make them sign a contract and put whatever blank check out there to make them sign. Those days were fun, but it was empty calorie fun. We're having adult fun now. The team is better in 2025.
Ed, what do you say?
Yeah, we're a better team. Laremy Tunsil makes this offensive line so much better. Brandon Coleman, whatever they decide to do with him, at left guard or right tackle, I just think the offensive line got better. The depth got better. I think you made addition by subtraction. I hate to rag on Ben St. Juice, but him leaving.
No, that's facts.
Both those guys leaving.
You don't got to stop there, Manuel Forbes, Michael Davis. You ain't got to stop there.
Davis, all the owners ain't going.
Regular season Diami.
Right. Diami, who never got over 300 yards receiving in a season until now. So yeah, they got better offensively. I feel like edge rusher. I mean, Dante Fowler, losing him, just losing that pass rush juice. I don't think you lose much there, but yeah, just some pressure there. You'll see if you get that from Dietrich Wise and some of the backups. I think Kinlaw comes in and helps with the run. They made sure they got guys to slow down the run game. That was a huge emphasis, clearly, with Wise and Eddie Coleman, bringing him in. So you got some depth there. But the O-line definitely got better. And the Debo, of course. I mean, this is the best receiver, whether, what you call him, a wide back, receiver, running back, whatever, just whatever you want to call Debo, whatever way you're going to use him as a weapon. He's the best number 2 you've had. I mean, you had Terry and Cam Sims was number 2 for a couple years. Ishmael Wright, guys like that, Dontrell Inman and other guys.
I know y'all saw the graphic that somebody had on social.
Harmon.
Where they had all of the Terry number 2s next to him and the yards. And I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. It's so bad. Man, it's so bad. So,
right.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, so you got a legit weapon at number 2. So you improve there. So it's not, I think everybody got teed up with Myles Garrett on Super Bowl Radio Row where he was flirting with us. So everybody got caught up with that. And then everybody got caught up with Trey Hendrickson. When Jordan Schultz and Diana Rossini said we were the top of the board, we're the top of the line, which we probably were, but it just didn't work out.
Hey, Rossini like 0 for 17 this offseason.
Yeah, yo, she's taking some hella cuts though, boy. She's swinging, boy, but she ain't making no contact. She ain't
hit on shit yet.
Yo, she is up here swinging for the fences. She's taking some hella cuts. She ain't making no contact, but I applaud the effort because she's swinging the hell out of that.
Real shooters shoot, man.
Hey, she's shooting the hell out of it. It's a lot of bricks. What's my man name that be coming from behind the tree? Spicy.
Spice Adams.
So you know that brick, when he be dressed up and he shoot that brick. that's Diana Rossini this offseason, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's having an off year for sure. But no, yeah, we got better for sure. And I just think some of the guys that we did bring back helped us get better too. I like the re-signing of Zach, Bobby, just bringing some of those legit veterans and captains back helped us out too. So yeah, we definitely improved. Like I said, addition by subtraction with some of the corner. And I do like the Jonathan Jones. I do like Will Harris. I think Will Harris will come in and play pretty well. I know, Jeremy Chin is gone, but I think Will Harris is definitely going to bring in some hard hitting and playing hard. And he was getting coverage last year too, so I think that was a good addition. John Jones is an upgrade, like I said, from the corner, so I think we made some upgrades for sure. We definitely got better.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't even have to assume about the draft. I feel like today, like if we had to play a game tomorrow, we're better than what we were last year. Because literally outside of backup swing tackle going from Cornelius Lucas to this Foster Sorrell kid. And then pass rushing from the outside as far as edge rushers go. I would say those are the only 2 ways that you could argue that have gotten worse. But in every other way, we're either the exact same or a little bit better or a lot better. Like Laremy Tunsil is the best tackle we've had since Trent Williams. And of course, Dayton before that, you had to go all the way back to Chris Samuel. Like this, he's one of those guys. And then of course, I think Brandon Coleman is better suited. I think he has a higher ceiling at guard. So now you've basically gone from Brandon Coleman at left tackle to Tunsil at left tackle, upgrade. You go from Nick Allegretti to Brandon Coleman at left guard. I feel like I would assume that's an upgrade as well. So you have multiple upgrades on the offensive line just from one move. To y'all point about wide receiver, Deebo Samuel, at the very least, is better than regular season De'Ami Brown, especially when it comes to screens and things like that and getting the ball out of the backfield. I feel like we're going to lose a little bit of speed with losing De'Ami Brown, but I feel like overall the wide receiver room is going to be better because to y'all's point as well, I expect not only just the quarterback to be better, but guys that will understand the system better are going to be better, just like even a KJ Osborne, where he just could not, for some reason, learn the offense well enough to even get on the field. Now with an entire offseason, he should be better. Speaking of entire offseason, Johnny Newton missed his entire rookie offseason. He'll have a fully healthy offseason, and continuing from Johnny Newton, bringing in a nose tackle like Eddie Goldman, who's a certified run stopper, double team eater. If he doesn't retire before the season starts, he's going to make everybody else around him better because they'll see more single one-on-one opportunities on the defensive line. Because Johnny Newton, his biggest struggle last year was dealing with double teams. But even coming out of the draft, he's like a penetrator. He's a guy that gets up the field quickly, but I never saw him as like a double team run stuffer type of guy. Eddie Goldman should allow him to be able to do what he does best, so he'll be better just because of that. And I just feel like everybody learning the system, because we were kind of doing things on the fly. You can see defensively and offensively, Joe Wood Jr., Cliff Kingsbury was just like, let's try this, and I'm pretty
experimental.
sure
Very experimental.
Pretty sure we're gonna still experiment, try to add extra layers, but at least we have like a certain floor. Whereas a lot of teams we played last year, most notably the Bucks week 1, they came in with their almost same exact team as they had the previous season when they played us week 1. And I feel like, so we're finally going to have that base that like a week 1 Buccaneers had last year. But I feel like, of course, they're not going to just stay stagnant. They're going to add extra layers to the offense, but we're not just completely shuffling things around to where, I mean, remember going into the regular season, we had guys like Bobby Wagner and Jonathan Allen who never played a snap together. Yeah, like they completely so now they have something to build off of. Plus the confidence of we can do it. I feel like also gives you an extra layer, because sports, a lot of it is confidence. There's athleticism, there's technique, there's a lot of things, but confidence is a huge part of it. If you believe you can do it, then that makes you far more likely to be able to do it. And off of what we just did, knowing that when in doubt, as long as Jaden Daniels has the ball last in his hands, everything's going to be fine. Everybody's going to be fully balled in. That extra lap you don't feel like running, well, I mean, Jaden Daniels needs me. I'm going to run that extra lap. Like, it's so many levels as to why we're just better naturally. If we had to play a game tomorrow, I would take our now selves over our last year selves.
The acquisition of Marshawn Lattimore can be considered a 2025 acquisition as well. The often injured imposter version of Marshawn Lattimore that played a handful of games for us last year, I don't think that's the guy we're going to see. So that factors into this thing too. If he gets back to form, oh man, this defense is different.
Oh, and speaking of guys we won't see, a guy like Nate Herbig makes it to where we don't have to worry about starting Michael Dieter 2 games. And I liked him when we first signed him, but it was ugly. And I like Nate Herbig, who was supposed to be the starting center for the Steelers before I think he tore his rotator cuff or something like that. So that's startable depth right there, where he's a backup, but for other teams, they saw him as a potential starter. And that moves, we're moving guys down the depth chart. Again, like y'all said, Michael Davis, Benjamin St. Juste, Emmanuel Forbes, gone. We're already just better from that alone. But a guy like Michael Dieter, who had to step in and start 2 games for us due to the injury of Tyler Biadasz last year, now he's probably your 3rd string center.
Yeah, you guys nailed it, man. I've been having this conversation with people because there are fans out there that legitimately think we've either gone backwards or we've been going laterally. And I just don't see it. I just think this team, I mean, just off the strength of the Deebo Samuel and Laremy Tunsil moves, you've gotten better, right? And defensively, there's some wait and see. There's some TBDs, right? But ultimately, I think the cornerback position is better. Just addition by subtraction, right? We don't know if Will Harris is an upgrade over Jeremy Chin or not, but let's not act like Jeremy Chin was this all-pro, Pro Bowl safety for us. He was good.
He wasn't
great, right? Like, I think Will Harris can come in and give us what he gave us. We'll see, right? That might be a downgrade. We'll find out. The defensive line is definitely TBD. We got to see what is ultimately going to take place there. One thing we know, we're going to be better at stopping the run, right? Like, it won't be what we saw last year from this group.
If not, then what did we do this?
Right. Up front, right? Like, if we can't stop the run, if we still are struggling in that department, then we have an issue. And to Rio's point, and I think it was a great point because I brought this same thing up, is that I look at Marshawn Lattimore as another addition, like similar to KJ Osborne. When he got here, it was a lot thrown at him, a lot put on his plate. And, obviously him dealing with the injuries and things of that nature, it wasn't the true representation of what he's been in this league. So I think you can add him to the 2025 list of guys that are like almost new acquisitions that are going to come in here and help. And then you think about guys like Dominique Hampton, who was a redshirt last year, that I think they're going to move into that Michael Walker role, right? Like more speed and athleticism. And, you look at Jordan McGee, who was oft injured last year. I expect him to be a huge part.
That's who I need to see. I need to see Jordan McGee. I need to know that there's a good succession plan for Bobby Wagner.
And I think you're going to get it this year. I'm so confident in him. He just got to stay healthy, right? Wasn't able to do that last year. But if he's healthy, I'm telling you, this dude has it. And so there's so many of those type of guys. And then you think about some of these guys going into year 2, Ben Sinnott and Luke McCaffrey, and we don't know what the jump for those guys looks like, right? So, or Javonte John Baptiste, what the year 2 jump for him looks like. So I just think this team is exponentially better than it was last year. The names don't wow you, some of the names. And yes, did we get older? Yes, we did get older, right? But we have guys that have been there, done that know how to get the job done, mixed in with the young guys that we have had here. And I think we saw last year that veteran leadership is a must in this league. If you are to win and win big, you need guys that have had experience in this league, knowing how to get it done in some of those critical situations. And so I'm all for some of the moves that they've made. And I think this roster is better than it was last year. And it has a chance to improve even more as we hit the 2025 NFL draft. So I wanted to ask you guys another question, and then we'll transition. But I talked about this, and this was a question I asked the viewers on one of my videos this week. Who is the guy that you think this team is going to miss the most that wasn't re-signed here in the offseason? And I'll give you a list. I know you guys can probably recollect it in your mind, but I'll just give you the list quickly so you know. All right, Jonathan Allen wasn't re-signed, but he wasn't cut. I mean, he wasn't a free agent, but he was cut, so he's not going to be here. So you can add him into this mix as well. But Jonathan Allen, Jeremy Chin, De'Ami Brown, Dante Fowler Jr., Cornelius Lucas, Benjamin St. Juice, Michael Walker, Derek Forrest, and Olamide Zaccheaus are your options. I know I didn't have to say Benjamin St. Juice's name, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
You left out Michael Davis, so that's good.
And those are the guys that signed elsewhere. Like, we could still sign Michael Davis back to the roster.
We better not.
Which is why I didn't name him. He's still out there available. Of those names, who is the guy that you think this team is going to miss the most?
If I had to pick today, right now, until the draft, and I think we'll address it in the draft, I'm just going to pick Dante Fowler just off of the fact that we just don't have another pass rusher. Right now, again, like I said earlier, we're hoping for Dorrance Armstrong to take that next step. We're hoping for Javonte John Baptiste to, vastly overachieve for what you expect from a 7th round pick. We're expecting Jacob Martin, who we signed on day 6 of free agency for very cheap, to step up and potentially be the next Dante Fowler. I don't really see the pathway, like a realistic pathway to how we're going to make up for the loss of Dante Fowler compared to the other guys where I'm like, we lost this guy, we have this guy, even though losing Olamide Zaccheaus, technically Noah Brown is your Olamide Zaccheaus because Deebo Samuel is going to be maybe not your pure wide receiver 2, but your weapon number 2. So Noah Brown probably technically takes over for what Olamide Zaccheaus was like on your depth chart and target share wise and things like that. So, and then again, corner, like losing the 3 guys that we no longer really care to speak of. Jonathan Jones is going to step up, bringing Noah Benogany if he has to play. He's solid depth as well. So I feel like Dante Fowler is the only guy I don't have like an exact direct. We have this guy today on roster that's going to make up for what we lost to him.
Yeah, me too. I'm going Dante Fowler Jr., man. I'm going Dante Fowler Jr. because when I look at the roster right now, I'm like, what the hell is the sack product? Who's getting to the quarterback? He was primarily here to do one thing, get to the quarterback. The boy can't tackle. He is a pass rusher. His job was to go amount for sack. I got to do mathematics and start combining edge rusher. Like, if we get a little bit of Jacob Martin and Dietrich Wise, they may combine for 10.5. No. We had one player on this team that was capable of getting double-digit sacks, and we don't have that on the roster. De'Ami, OZ, we got Debo, and if KJ Osborne's actually on the field and being thrown to, I see no reason why he can't do Olamide Zaccheaus type production. And Harris and Chin, I think when it's all said and done, that's going to end up being a wash. Mm-hmm. It's going to end up being a wash. That is the clear
hole when I look at the roster right now is who the hell is getting to the quarterback, because we don't have specialists on the inside or outside. Frankie Louisville's the only person that gets to the quarterback on the roster, and he's not a full-time edge rusher. So, yeah, it's Fowler for me.
Ed.
Yeah, no, it's, number one is Dante Fowler for sure. Just that pass rush, the rotational pass rush. He had the pick six. I mean, he had some big plays last year. I know he had the penalties and whatnot, and he was terrible against the run. But yeah, he made some really big, some pressures for us and getting those sacks and finishing plays. But I guess to be different, I mean, you can go with Cornelius Lucas, but I'll say playoff Diami. It's only a spurt. It's not a full season of Diami, but it's playoff Diami.
That boy was special.
It really was. I mean, he doesn't get that contract. He doesn't get another contract. He may be out of the league. Like I said a couple episodes ago, he may be out of the league if he didn't have that playoff run like he did. So yeah, just a deep threat. I know we have Terry, and Debo's more of an intermediate guy, but do we have that speed guy? And Diami, he kind of was that for that Lions game where he beat Kirby Joseph for that pass, and he took the top, and he beat Darius Slay on a play too in the Eagles game. The Eagles game that we beat him 36-33. So he did provide a different dynamic, and even if he didn't make a play, at least he gave us a little bit of that threat as a deep player, as a just run straight, just a go route guy. So that is a different dynamic that I do give Diami some credit for. But I do think it cancels out, kind of like Will Harris and Jeremy Chin. I think it cancels out with bringing him back Noah Brown and some other guys and adding Debo to the roster. But yeah, just playoff Diami, just those 3 or 4 games in a season is something that, you know, I think we will make it up, but just having that dynamic to the team, we'll miss a little bit.
So that was the answer right there. It was Diami Brown, and not because of the production. We can make that up easily. It's the speed. We don't have another guy on this roster right now that can run other than Terry McLaurin. Like, who else is getting vertical? Debo Samuel is not a vertical threat. Noah Brown is not a vertical threat. He drew pass interference penalties last year, but he's not a vertical threat.
Big Luke.
Luke McCaffrey wasn't running past dudes at Rice. Okay, so I can't see this man running past NFL defenders. He wasn't running past dudes at Rice.
Separation.
Somebody tried to come at me with a 40 time, like Diami Brown ran a 4.45 and Luke McCaffrey ran a 4.47. I'm like, hey, check the tape, bro. Diami was smoking fools at North Carolina. He was smoking AJ Terrell. Well, not AJ Terrell. What was the corner that came out that year, right around when he came out? That was at Clemson. That's might be AJ Terrell.
It was AJ Terrell.
Yeah, he's the one that's in Atlanta, right? Yeah. He's cooked AJ Terrell when he was at Clemson, right? In that game. So he was running by NFL level talent in college. Luke McCaffrey ain't doing that. So we don't have another guy that can get vertical. But just like Ed said, for the sake of being different, it's Cornelius Lucas if it's not Diami Brown for me. Because we name another guy, and I know we haven't had to have this conversation for the last 4 seasons because Cole Luke was here. But name another guy right now that you're confident in. If something were to happen at left tackle, you could just slide a guy in without disrupting the structure of the offensive line.
Brandon Coleman. That's it.
But you would have to disrupt the offensive line, right?
You would.
You'd have to move him from wherever he is. Insert, like, let's assume that Coleman is playing right tackle right now. Let's just say he's playing right tackle. And so Wiley's your quote unquote swing tackle. Nobody's putting Andrew Wiley at left tackle. Okay. Nobody's doing that. So what you would effectively have to do is you would have to put Andrew Wiley in at right tackle, take Brandon Coleman and put him back at left tackle. So you could be effectively making 2 spots worse on the offensive line by doing that. When you had Cole Luke, you didn't have to do that, right? You could just, if the left tackle went down, put Cole Luke in. If the right tackle went down, put Cole Luke in, and you just keep pushing. So Diami, for me, was the answer. After, obviously, Dante Fowler Jr. I think he, a lot of people would put him number 1. My number 1 was Diami's speed, because that helps a lot when they're double teaming Terry, when the middle of the field is closed and they decide I'm going to take that safety and I'm going to shade him to Terry's side. It helps a hell of a lot to just be able to say, all right, Diami, get vertical, right? You got one-on-one. I'm going to give you a shot. We don't have another guy that can do that. And so there's still a chance in the draft that you can find a guy that can do that for you. But as of right now, that guy doesn't even really exist on this roster. So that's something that is a little troublesome for me. So before we transition to our reactions to the Commander Log episodes, do you guys, so they've restructured a couple of contracts. I know you guys saw that. They restructured Andrew Wiley's contract. They restructured Deebo Samuel's contract. Both of them had no guaranteed money. Now both have guaranteed dollars in their contract. I think in the case of Wiley too, it's going to lower his base a little bit. It might have done the same for Deebo, because depending on what the structure of it looks like, if you give somebody some upfront money, you could lower the base salary, and so that could help you in the long run, or in terms of the salary cap for this year, right? Because once you hit week 1, that salary becomes fully guaranteed, right? So you're almost accounting for that money anyway. So if you can lower that number by giving them $8 million, like if Deebo's money, you give them $8 million now, and then you spread out the other, $9 million over the life of, the season, his base number is a lot lower than the number he would have been getting throughout the course of the season, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of fans are starting to look at some of these moves like those that we just saw and say, okay, is it extension time? I don't know if you guys listen to all of these press conferences. The fact that you brought up Laremy Tunsil being on a plantation means you absolutely watched that one in particular. And I thought the most impactful thing that he said was what he didn't say, which was
about his contract. He said,
he won't get extension.
That's between question. Me and Adam Peterson.
No. He literally said they know where I stand. Oh, bet I want an extension. They know what they know what it is, right?
Yeah.
So the question now becomes, are extensions for 78 and 17 up next? Do you guys see that?
Yep, and in reverse order, I think 17 gets the first extension over here. I think they touch up Tunsil's contract at some point, but I think they're going to take care of Terry, man. When you look at the Commanders log, outside of what you already know Terry does for the team, just look at the leadership, the way guys respond to him, and how much he cares about this, man. Terry's got to be a Washington lifer, man. And you're looking at some of this wide receiver money going around, and some of those names don't make sense. You got to slide Terry into that conversation. So 30 plus for Terry. He's probably walking in like minimum 300-400. I got to get something done. And I think Tunsil's coming. So Tunsil was very intentional with his response when they asked him about that extension.
Oh, yeah.
He was very precise with his words. So that tells me that's a conversation his agent and Peters have
he's his own agent. So he had that conversation with them.
Yeah. So he negotiated. So I imagine that negotiation was a part of the trade being done. So it's definitely coming for both of those guys, probably before season.
Yeah, I agree. I think Terry's just off of loyalty, first of all, but also it just makes more sense. Like even just like cap space wise, even with an extension, it may actually make them slightly cheaper this year.
Of course,
and then it's going to make them more expensive over the course of the next few years. But it just, and then I think what was when we signed Samuel Cosby to an extension last year, it was like right before the regular season, wasn't it? So I hope they go ahead and get the Tunsil one done. Go ahead and jump ahead of that and get that done this offseason rather than wait until next season. So I feel like we can assume the Terry one will be done before we start playing regular season football. The Tunsil one I hope happens this year, but I'm not assuming it just yet. I think because you got to get the Terry one out the way. If they do the Terry one early, then I'll be a little bit more confident that they'll get the Tunsil one done before the regular season starts.
What about you, Ed?
Yeah, Terry, you got to get it done ASAP. Especially you look at T. Higgins and Jamar Chase getting deals, other receivers getting deals. He definitely deserves $30 million or more, especially after having an all-pro season. He was a top 5 receiver last year. Like he deserves all the money and just being a Commander's lifer for sure. So they got to get that done. I hope they get it done before training camp, really before OTA start and whatnot. So he definitely deserves that deal. He definitely deserves the extension. I mean, you look at Brandon Ayuk. Like Brandon Ayuk is getting $30 million. He's the better receiver than Brandon Ayuk. You can argue that he's better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown's getting $30 million. So he deserves $30 million. Jalen Waddle's getting 28. So he deserves more. He's at 23 million right now. So I would say like a 30 million per year, 3-year extension, something like that would make a lot of sense for Terry. Laremy, that will definitely work itself out. I think that would happen before training camp as well. I think they should get that. They should really do Terry before the draft. That's something they should get done before the draft. I feel like, especially just rewarding him for the season that he had. I know we're going to talk about Commander's log, but yeah, just the leadership aspect. You saw him grow in that area. He's always been a good leader, but just that vocal leadership definitely went up like 10 times throughout, especially in the playoffs too. So, but yeah, both those guys deserve extensions, especially Terry. Terry should get an extension done like as soon as possible. We know we know it's in the works, but they should definitely get it done as soon as possible.
Man, y'all more confident than me. This feels like some July action. Like we get the middle of July and Terry's getting a little antsy. Not that he's gonna hold out or anything, but we start having those conversations, and then it gets done. Because a lot of times deadlines spur action, right? You don't do something until you have to do it. And I'd like to see them be proactive. I'd love it if we woke up, next Tuesday and there's news of Terry McLaurin getting his extension done. It's the right thing to do, right? Take that off the plate, and now you can just move forward. Somebody said something interesting to me. My guy Derek B was talking about the Tunsil extension. He said we need to get that done now because in his mind, look, you've already gave up the draft pick. Because my whole thought process was you want to kind of see if the guy that you traded for is gonna come in here and deliver, right? Yeah. Before you invest. That's the point of having 2 years versus 1. Because when you trade for a guy with 1 year left, there is no audition. I trade for you and I got to pay you and I got to extend you right now. Yep. You have 2 years. I get to see what it is I'm getting myself into, and then I can pay you. But to Derek B's point, it only gets more expensive the longer you wait. If you assume that this guy's going to come in here and continue to be one of the best left tackles in football, which we have no reason to believe that he won't, just go ahead and pay him. You've already given up 2 draft picks in the first 2 days of the draft. Really, day 2 of the draft, you've given up 2, one this year and one next year. So you might as well just go ahead and give him the extension. And I understand that thought process as well. I get it. I think there's a chance that both of them get done. But I wouldn't be shocked if only one of them gets done before the start of camp. But Terry's getting done for sure. I feel like there's no way.
Oh, they're gonna have a damn alumni luncheon and family reunion at Ortho Virginia Training Center when they give that Terry extension. They're gonna make a whole Commander's law for Terry's extension and how much he means. Wouldn't he be the first big extent? Well, they gave Cosme one last year, but he'd be like the first real big money extension they made. And
he's not even the highest paid player on the roster right now.
Yep, and they're gonna change that. Yeah. And this money, it keeps going. Did you see what Daniil Hunter got tonight?
No, I didn't. Somebody said in the comment section.
He got 1 year, like $33 million extension.
Yeah, I mean, the man went out and got them double-digit sacks last year.
Yeah, 33 mil,
51. So they did what the Eagles did, which is they just gave him a pay raise,
a bunch of money in 1 year. Yeah, all 33 million 1 year.
Whew, they said, look, bro, you killed it for us last year. Here's your reward for doing what you did for us last year. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? So, got to pay the guys that do it the right way and take care of business for you. And Terry is the best at that. And so that's the perfect segue, Rio. You said about the Commander's log and Terry's involvement. And so last week we wanted to talk about episode 1, but we didn't get to it. And I said we'd circle back to it this week. So they dropped episode 2 on us yesterday, and it was epic, just like we thought. I went to watch the video. First comment I see is Rio's comment in the comment section of the Commander's log video.
I'd be hyped, man.
I think it said something to the effect of I needed that for my soul, or my soul needed that, or some shit like that.
And it fixed me, man.
My soul needed that. And I was like, hey, Rio is a crazy dude. So y'all talk to me about those. I just keep repeating myself. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point. Like, I can't get enough of last season. Like, I know I've watched this 10 million times. I know the movie. I know all the words, right? Every scene. I've seen it 500 times, and yet I get goosebumps watching it. And episode 2 was just as riveting as episode 1 was, but I want to hear it from you guys' vantage point. What did these 2 episodes do for you? What did it mean to you? And what did you take from it? We'll start with you, Rico. Episodes 1 and 2, assuming that y'all watch. Y'all all watch, right? I don't want to make any assumption.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
I haven't seen 2 yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So y'all can speak to 1 then. And
yeah.
I spoiler alert. We did watch episode 2. So
spoiler alert, we made it to the NFC Championship game.
Right. But I said we all watched the season, you know.
Like, spoiler alert, we made it to the championship game and just fell short by 32.
But no, it was, I mean, I can't wait to see the episode 2 because I already have the tab up. I just haven't been able to sit down today. I've just been out and about and stuff like that. So now that I'm officially after this, I'm literally about to watch it while I'm eating.
And they gave us movies, bro. Like, this isn't like a quick 15 minutes. Let me just, check it out real quick. This is 44 minutes, bro.
And this isn't just some highlights put together. These are exclusive camera angles that we didn't get before. These are slow motions. These are narrations. These are player interviews, at least from the first one that I saw. I mean, again, like we had Luke McCaffrey talking quite a bit in the first one. So,
I know that was that boy Luke was getting TV time.
Yeah.
Bro, okay.
Yeah, y'all gonna remember my name.
That's the soft launch right there.
They must have had a lot of hopes for him coming into the season to have him interviewed that early. They must have really thought that he would have a better season than he ended up having. I hope he works out and everything, but you could tell by how much TV time he got early in that first one that they were expecting bigger things from him in that season. But yeah, I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say about the second one. But the first one was amazing. To y'all point, like I've watched it over and over again. I've gone on NFL.com and watched the games over and over again. I've watched the highlights on YouTube. But like I mean, if I could even get the commercials back, I just want the whole smooth process. It's something like I sleep to. Like I sleep to our games. Like instead of like if I don't feel like listening to a podcast or watching some other show.
That's next level. He on some Rosetta Stone over there.
I just throw on the game and just that's my background noise.
That 55-minute Jaden highlight reel puts me to sleep, man.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
See, y'all are different because I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm going to be watching that shit like a last kid. I'm not even going to sleep with that.
Oh, God.
It does keep me up longer than I should.
Right,
I eventually do fall asleep.
I need some Bob Ross or some shit.
But the first one was amazing, man. Again, just the exclusive angles that we don't get just from watching the game broadcast and things like that. It's like sideline angles. You can kind of hear them on the sideline talking in the background and things like that. So again, I just can't wait to see the second one.
Go ahead, Ed, because I mean, me and Rio, we gonna spoil the second episode.
Business.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't seen much of Jeremy Chin with his helmet off, so I got to see.
You saw plenty of that episode. Right. We ain't going down that road again.
Right, I want to get started again. So, like I said, Jeremy Chin, he's probably gonna catch the episode from last week for sure. No, it was great. I mean, it was very cinematic. Camera angles. It was like another Hard Knocks, but just like not the. It was a lot of behind the scenes, but I guess not as much as Hard Knocks that showed more in-game stuff, which was the different thing. But no, it was awesome. I mean, getting to see Frankie Louvu get the guys hype with the Ric Flair, you got to see that. You got to see Dan Quinn getting hype, Cliff getting hype after the Cardinals game. Watching those first couple of games was like, man, B-Rob had some juice in the beginning. It's like, dang, it's just terrible to see how.
I can put some respect on my man name,
right? Because that Giants game, it was like, yeah, B-Rob was looking like he was the guy. The Cardinals game looked like he was the guy. Then you see the Eagles game and some of the games in the later years, like, yeah, we got to get a new running back. So
he gets Thanos snapped out the video.
Right. Yeah. So it was like, man, we got a guy, but yeah, now it's like, yeah, we need a running back bad. But no, it was awesome. Even in some of the losses, like it was crazy to watch. Like the Cowboys game, just seeing that again when Terry had that 86-yard touchdown and then Cyber misses the kick. The Bengals game recap, just the behind the scenes and watching that game again was just incredible. Just reliving those moments. The Browns game where we blew them out by 25, 30. The Cardinals game, blew them out back-to-back dominant performances. Even just watching that Giants game where Malik Neighbors had that big drop and then you see Dable just going crazy, grabbing his ball head, just being upset. So just those crazy moments where you saw the season turnaround and the franchise turnaround, the Bears game, the Hail Mary, the Hail Noah. So just different moments like that were really cool to watch that back again from different angles, slow-mo, sideline, stuff like that. So it's just great that we have behind the scenes. We got our own version of Hard Knocks, which is really cool. Shout out to the production team and stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say, we got to give them a round of applause, man.
Yeah, they've done a heck of a job showing some Josh Harris clips here and there too. It's a new day, man. So it's just great to see that. I did see a couple clips of season 2 or episode 2 where you see Jaden and Mikey joking around. I think it was somebody's birthday. I can't remember whether it was
Jaden's birthday.
Yeah,
week of the Eagles game.
Eagles game, yep.
Yeah, and I think that was the week where Jaden basically. I'm not going to take anything away from Mikey getting rookie of the week. But when Jaden took the camera, was like, "Yeah, vote for Mikey." Like that just shows like the pull that Jaden has among the fan base. But nah, man, episode 1 was great, man. I'm excited to see episode 2 for sure.
So Rio, me and you about to kiss Sheik Luch this joint, or Styles P rather. We just gonna bounce off each other back and forth. Yeah, we about to go back and forth. So episode 1 for me. I think the biggest takeaway was it just reminded me how we was whooping ass. Like you forget how dominant we were early in the season. Even though we didn't blow out Cincinnati, I didn't forget, but you forget sometimes. Bro, we didn't punt for almost 3 weeks.
Fam, we were scoring non-stop. We were so spoiled. That Giants to the Cardinals game,
super spoiled.
I mean, you could even throw the
Browns game,
that week 5 game. Like from that week 2 to week 5 stretch, we were unconscious, bro. We were on fire.
We scored like every way you could think of. Like we kept scoring.
7 field goals. We did not punt in that Giants game. We did not punt the next week against Cincinnati, right? And then I think we had the interception Jaden threw, and then we had like one drive that
stalled out.
Yeah, ended in like us having a punt. I think
scored every other time.
We scored 40 in that game still, right? Like, and then the next week we didn't even play the starters in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we rested the starters, and Jaden gave them the ball at the 2-yard line.
Right. I still blame Terry for that. He should have never even been on the field right there because Terry needed to get out of that thing and score that touchdown on that play. But it just reminded me of how dominant we were. We scored 40 on the Panthers without our starting quarterback, bro.
That's absurd.
Like, that is insanity. That was 34-0 at one point in that game, right? Like, we don't do those types of things. But that first episode was a reminder of we was killing the game. We were taking the league by storm at that point, right? Putting teams on notice, and even the Baltimore game, falling short there, but going over there and making a statement that we ain't chumps, right? Like when they were up 27-13, that game could have been over.
Yep.
But it wasn't. And because Jaden and Terry wouldn't let it be. And so that episode 1, you can speak to that, and then we'll get to episode 2, Rio. I love the locker room. I can't get enough of Cliff in Arizona, right? Like, on to the motherfucking nuts. I can't get enough of that shit, bro.
It, man.
Like, you see, I think one of the things that this series has brought is it gave us extended cuts, right? Like we always get the game ball locker room speech. That's a minute. They're going to give us about 46 seconds. Somebody getting the game ball. They break it down. But on this, they're giving us the entire speech. We getting all of it. And that's the thing that I love. You're getting a little bit. They give us a little bit more every time, right? Episode 1 was awesome. Episode 2 was epic.
They just get right back to it. They get right back to it, and it perfectly encapsulates the roller coaster the season was. Like the first video, we go from 7-2 to 7-5, 3 losses in a row. This next one starts. You're seeing the morale of the team. We just lost 3 games in a row. They want to see who we are. We're in the black. We looking clean. The Titans are in town. Our tune-up game to get us back going. And the video is so fun because it's all winning for like 2 months. It's like 2 months straight of winning. We don't lose a game from that start of the video all the way until like the 43rd minute of the video. It is winning from November all the way until the end of July. And when they transition to the playoffs, it's another level, man. It's one of those moments like our playoff season back in January. I'm going to remember that month forever. Yeah. This season in the playoffs specifically is going to feel like one of those highs that people chase for the rest of their lives. Like they did something and they peaked early in life and they're going to chase that high until all eternity, bro.
Trevor Lawrence.
Big Trevor Lawrence. Big Trevor Lawrence, man. But all the angles and you're getting the full contextual view and feel of how the team was in these moments, what they were feeling before and after. This shit is shot so well and so intentionally. Like, you can tell this was not made to make like a highlight clip. This was all made to be like a movie. This is the best season of Commander's Log so far. Yeah. Obviously, it's easier when the team ain't ass and you're not like it's a lot harder to make a video make people feel when the team stinks, but we're getting everything. Like we've went from draft day, we've went from introductory pressers all the way through the NFC Championship on this joint, and they're giving each players their own little personal little highlights. Like when Marcus Mariota came in versus the Cowboys, that was beautiful, man. They gave him like his own. He probably showed his kids that, man.
Yeah, and to your point, it was Last Dance bullish, right? Like it's like they knew we need to get all this footage because we got something here. It like they didn't know, like the Bulls knew that was their last dance, right? They knew, okay, Jordan said, I'm documenting this because this could be it, right? But they were nice already. Like he knew, like this might be it. Hey, I'm gonna bring the camera crews with me, and one day I may, shoot a documentary based off of the shit we got, right? This feels Kanye West-ish, right? Where Kanye just had your boy following him with a camcorder, recording everything, and one day I might turn this into a documentary, right? They shot everything. And like Rio said, they didn't miss anything. And I love like they gave us every Terry speech.
The one after the Titans game, like I didn't know of that speech.
You didn't know about that speech.
I did not know that speech.
They gave us a tad bit, like a tidbit of that. They gave us like 30 seconds of that speech.
We got the deleted scenes, man.
We got the extendo cut, right? We got the extended cut version of that joint, the entire joint, where Terry just blacked out and was just like, that's how we play right there every week. Practice to the game, to the field. Like you got the whole thing, right? And you got every Terry speech. That Terry speech before the Eagles' second game, the week, that's the thing that legends are made of.
That's the one. That's the one
right there.
That's the one right there.
That's the one right there. Like,
I'm
out of here about them, right? It's about us, right? They got to come through us. Like, that's the one, right? But then the Lions joint, we said, I don't know what they're going to say about you. But I know what they're going to say about me. And then how about when they play the clip of him saying that, the soundbite as he's breaking the tackle in
on the screen pass.
On the screen pass. I don't know what they're going to say about you, but I know what they're going to say about me. And then he's breaking the tackle and running down the side.
I don't know what Christopher Nolan school of filmmaking they got these camera people, but it is so well done. The transitions, the camera work, they got a score and a soundtrack to it. Like this, we ain't never seen our team make content like this,
bro. When I tell you the second episode, like Rio saying, I've been telling people this, and I might have said this on this show before, and I know I've said it a million times on my show, and I know it's hard for people to fathom this. But I said, you will never get a season like this again. Like, because even if we win the Super Bowl will trump the ending of this season that we just had. But you can't recreate what 2024 was. Because it was the first of everything for the most part.
It ain't nothing.
Journey.
Your first time is your first time, man. It's the first, man. It's the first.
And the only thing was missing from that season was the chip, right? Like that would have made like the perfect Hollywood ending. Like I can't believe this. If we would have won the Super Bowl, it would have been like the most incredible, like the America's game that they would have created based off of the 2024 Washington Commanders would have been insane.
Oh my
right?
God.
Because you can't make the stuff up that bro, you had a Hail Mary. You had 6 games end at the final buzzer or the final, the last second of the game, right?
Yep.
And you can't recreate this stuff.
We doinked our way to the divisional round, bro. We doinked the game-winning field goal.
That one will never get like we talked about this on this show. The calls from that season,
whole list.
Bro. I mean, and like Bram was snapping the whole season, right?
Oh my God.
Bram was snapping.
Shouts out to Bram.
Bram was snapping the whole season. And you get all of his calls. I like how they give you some of the broadcast calls. They give you the Bram calls, and they intertwine them so beautifully. And you get the lightning strikes twice in the nation's capital, because you got to get that, right?
And the way that they're scoring the music, it builds up and adds to the tension, and then it cuts out at the perfect. Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, it goes doom. So good. And then it slows down, and then you hear Terry's voice. I know what they're gonna say about me, and then he take off for the touchdown, and you like, man, this is epic. And when you see the journey, and this is, I think, what episode 2 really hammered home for me as a fan, is that as fans, we are so often quick to downplay the locker room closeness.
Yep.
And the culture that they had in the brotherhood, that brotherhood that DQ spoke of so fondly and so often last year.
Culture.
You can't replicate dudes like Jeremy Reeves. At the end of this, y'all gonna see this when you watch it. He said generally guys don't come together that quickly and become family like that team did. He said, I've never been a part of anything like that before, where we literally became family and guys were willing to sacrifice and do whatever it took for the good of the team. And you could see it, man. Like, I got goosebumps watching those NFC Championship press conferences with the banner in the background again. Like, yo, my team was in the NFC Championship game last year. Watching those dudes talk, and you see all of the different guys that contributed this season. The Marcus Mariotas, as Rio said, the Olamide Zacchaeuses, guys that aren't here anymore. That was another thing. He was like, damn, he gone. He gone, and he not gonna be back. Dante Fowler Jr. wiping his shoes off, and they kicking, right? And you're like, damn, he gone. He ain't gonna be back. But when it's all said and done, they set the foundation, right? They set the foundation for what is to come. And that season, man, it'll never be another one like it. Rio said it best. That month, that month of January, because that's what essentially it was. We just lost at the very end of that month, but
it was amazing.
To begin it with the Cowboys win, I think that was a January game.
It was.
And then, because I think the Falcons game was right after Christmas. From that point, I mean, honestly, you can go all the way back to the Eagles game, to be honest with you. But that month of January was something special. It was something different. And they encapsulated that so beautifully in episode 2. And I think that Bucs game, that one, the Lions game was almost surreal. The Bucs one is the one that hit. Like, I think that's the one that hit us the hardest, because for so long,
it's been 20 years. It's been
so long.
Hell
you hadn't seen playoff, ball, or win. You hadn't won a playoff game.
I almost ain't want them to put the Eagles game in this shit.
And they had to, though, bro. I was actually disappointed because I wanted more of that game, right? They
did the right amount.
Nah, man. See, I wanted more because they kind of did me like they did the year of Jaden, where they literally stopped that shit at the Eagles game. Like,
it's like when watching one of your favorite movies again, and you wish you could change the ending to that shit, man. You get to that part at the end, and it's like, damn. It's like, damn, man. Like, as fun and euphoric as this season went, our season ended getting 55 points
on our head, bro. Like,
they scored 55 points on us, bro.
It was only so much they could show in that game, right? I was expecting them to show the dance.
Oh yeah,
they didn't show the dance. Though. It was like,
let's groove on.
Yeah, they couldn't do it, man. They showed the confetti falling, and you know they had the battle scars, you know, quote from DQ, which is I think a very apt way to put a bow on everything. And then you had Jeremy Reeves speaking, pretty much saying like that was one of them seasons you'll never forget. And I mean, as a fan, you'll never forget 2024
ever.
And we can't get enough of it. And I can't wait to see what this staff and the players and the media team have in store for us, you know, moving forward, because to come out of the gate, I don't think we normally get Commanders logs this early. Am I tripping?
I think the first one we got last year was close to the draft with some of the free agent signings and stuff.
So last year, episode 1 was DQ.
DQ and Adam Peters.
Peters, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that was episode 1.
We didn't have a lot of good stuff to really log like that, so it makes sense.
So maybe we'll get more episodes
post draft. They started dropping heat.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we get more episodes of the log this year.
I like the length too. Like I like.
I like movies. They gotta go. They're probably gonna go like. I imagine because normally what they do with the draft or the combine is they combine combine,
Senior Bowl,
all that
pre-draft interviews, all that type of stuff.
They usually combine all of that, so you probably gonna get another movie right there. But after that, I think you're gonna go back to getting the short episodes, like
rookie mini camp.
Yeah, you get, well, they're gonna do the ones where they the phone calls to the draft pick. Shit, we only got 5 right now. I mean, we don't have more. It won't be a lot of them for us to watch anyway.
Driving around in a car just like Rivera did.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I don't.
If Emmanuel Forbes is available,
right? Like, let's not do that. Like, I don't want to see them do that. Right? Like,
hey, what was the Virginia Tech, the thick Virginia Tech corner that told Ron he got the best corner in the draft? What was his name again? Holmes.
Oh yeah, Christian Holmes.
Man, y'all just drafted the best corner in the draft. I love drafting.
Where's he at right now? Where's Christian Holmes at, man? What was his nickname? He had a nickname. Sip.
He probably on the defenders, you know, the short list for the defenders.
Yeah, Sip. Oh man, loved his bravado. Didn't love the production though. But yeah, man. For anybody who hasn't watched episode 2 or 1 for that matter, what are you waiting on? It's absolutely must see TV.
Good stuff,
it's one of those. Hey, babe, wake up. The Commanders just dropped the new Commanders log, right? Like, hey, get up. It's another episode.
I got my son locked into them joints, man. My son can't get enough. He running back to old seasons. I was like, it ain't gonna be as fun as this one, but watch it. Just get the knowledge of it.
Yeah. Like, I'm good on those, right? Like, those are bad memories now. I don't even like. I got man. Sam Howell put all the football up after the Cowboys game.
I gotta show my son. I gotta find in the archives an episode of Redskins Nation and show him Skin Tangibles.
Hey, I can't go back to it. Hey, let's roll these boys. I can't do that, man. Like, those are bad memories, bro. I can't. That's rough on me, man.
It's bad juju.
So let's get to the comment section. I know you got to run here in a little bit, Ed. So if you got to go ahead and get out of here before we start getting to the comment section, it's all good. We appreciate you.
I'll stay for a couple comments.
Okay, so let's dive into the comment section and see what you guys got to say. Hey, Scotty, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, man. We really, truly do appreciate you. Thank you for the $20 donation. Scotty, right? So just wanted to say what up. He said, by the time y'all get to my super chat, I'm gonna be passed out asleep. This man. Hey, we appreciate the love, Scotty,
my
man.
Boy. That's my Woodbridge. That's my Woodbridge brethren right there.
I love it, man.
Scotty.
Met Scotty at the watch party for the Eagles game, man. Cool ass dude, man. Appreciate your Commanders updates. We appreciate you, Scotty, man. Love
my guy.
The support. Paul Kyoko, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, "What's good, Canes? What's up, Paul?
What up, man?
With you, bro? We appreciate you for locking in with us, man.
Always.
Everybody that's out there, almost 850 of you out there. We really, truly do appreciate y'all. If you don't mind, hit that like button. Helps this channel grow exponentially. Also, subscribe for more great content if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. HTTR Lot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, if the Commander Kings was the Chicago Bulls in 96, who is who? What kind of questions do y'all be asking, man? What are we talking about here, man? Like, what are we doing?
I'm Rodman. I'm the wild card.
Hey, what are we doing here, man? I'm Luke Longley. All right.
Yeah, I didn't know John Sally was on the roster. That's crazy.
Oh shit. The Spider. Jared talks football. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jared writes, tell Tunsil to step in my office. My building right next to Archibald's Gentlemen's Club in K Street. Hey, look, man. It's crazy. We added 2 dudes that they be having some sassy fits.
Oh yeah, and they be outside too. They be Tunsil be outside. Tunsil moves like a skill player.
Yeah, oh for sure.
He moves like a wide receiver. He don't move like no left tackle.
Nah. And he's into that fashion shit too.
Designer, pulling up in Chanel. Like,
yeah. We got to watch both of them dudes. And
don't let Daron Payne show him the strip club, man.
Hey.
All right, he's probably already there now.
That's where Payne been ever since he got paid. He left his sacks in the strip club.
Pause.
No ball. I want him to bring him back to the football
field. An exclamation point, please.
Hey.
Oh man.
HCTR a lot. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. All right. If you are AP with the 29th pick, who are y'all taking? That's a great question. Like, obviously, it was funny. Me and Rico, before we came on, were behind scenes, was in backstage, we're talking about the 29th pick, and it's damn near impossible.
It is. It's hard
to pick a player because you like Rico was saying, like, bro, you're at the back of the first round. Like, we're not even accustomed to this. Mm-hmm. Last year, we had the 2nd pick. Anybody in the draft, we could look at and say, hey, we can draft this guy, we can draft that guy. We knew we were taking a quarterback, but you're at 29. Like, your options are very limited, and you're at the mercy of the other 28 teams ahead of you, essentially, at this point. And for the first time in the common NFL draft, every team actually holds their own first round pick. So I wonder if every team is actually going to make a selection, or are we going to see trades? That's going to be something to keep an eye on, because, if at all possible, Adam Peters wants to get out of that 29th.
We have a very good chance of watching a whole first round where we're not involved in. So keep an open mind. But if we had to pick one today that you think would be there, who are you taking? And who are you taking at 29 today, March 19th?
Man, a couple weeks ago I thought James Pierce would fall, but I don't think he's going to be there.
No, he's not going to be there.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Donovan E. Man, Boston College edge rusher. I think he's going to be there at 29. I like his pass rush production. I think he can come in and make an impact already. I just like the juice that he brings to the game. So him, realistically, Luther Burden, and I do like Matthew Golden. If we're not going to go edge rusher, then for me it would be a receiver, Luther Burden or Matthew Golden.
I don't think Golden gonna be there either.
Yeah,
I think he could be the first receiver taken when it's all said and done.
It is possible, man. People acting like they don't even know who Ted McMillan is anymore.
Like, I'm telling you, this draft didn't have a dominant number one receiver. Like, the one dude that stood out to you and was like, yo, that's the guy you got to take if you want to need a receiver. And by Tet not doing anything at the combine, like I think again, the tape is going to do what it's going to do, and teams are going to feel the way that they're going to feel. But when Golden went out there and ran, he turned heads.
Crackhead speed right there, man.
Yep. And so, you can change a lot of things by going out on that stage and doing that. And, he did that. So.
You know who I think we end up with if we stay at 29?
Oh.
Nick Scorton. That's
a name I keep hearing. And they're saying based off of the guys that we've signed in free agency, look for Nick Scorton to be added to this roster.
There's nothing exciting about they just say he fits exactly what Dan Quinn and them are looking for. Not exciting, just a solid ass dude.
They really like the UCLA guy. I forgot Olawufemi. That 29 is too high for me for him, but they like him a lot.
He was really good at the combine. He moved really well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see what if at any I know I took down some numbers from him at the
best
combine.
Player available. Nick Scorton would be a good pick though. It just wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? We're not doing backflips, but he's a good pick.
But it's just, who's going to be available? Now, granted, I just went on Pro Football Focus and did like 30 run-throughs to see who would be available with our first pick. I was actually pretty surprised who was consistently there. It was like a group of like a solid 5 guys I would love to get. But I just don't think that's necessarily going to happen in real life. It's hard to say. Like my ideal pick is one of the, like we've already talked about it, one of those Walter Nolan, Michael Williams, red flags, lack of production, whatever, falls, and then we scoop them up. Because if at the very least we can't allow one of those guys to go to the Eagles. I saw like on ESPN recently, I think it was one of those mock draft, may have been Mel Kiper or something. They had Walter Nolan going to the Eagles. And at that point, just go ahead and hand them the trophy today. Like we cannot allow them to get somebody with that much talent.
And that, what's crazy is I don't remember seeing him where he went in like Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft. I don't remember seeing him. He be sliding
in a lot of guys' mock drafts for whatever reason.
When I did Pro Football Focus like 30 times, he was there at 29, like 18, 20 of them for some reason. I
seen
somebody mock Shamar Stewart to Philly.
Lord. That's another one you got to stop from getting there.
Hey, look, so one of them dudes gonna be there for him. I'm just telling you right now. One of them dudes that you do not want the Eagles to have access to is gonna be there.
And we're not gonna make a pick, and they're gonna get one out.
Hey, we gonna see what happens, and it almost feels like whatever Adam Peters does, the fan base ain't gonna be happy. That's what it feels like, unless it's like an absolute steal. They're gonna be like, yo. And then if the Eagles get a dude that everybody was talking about prior to the draft, Lord have mercy. Be in that same position all over again.
Yeah.
Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Video channel, right? Sup, Kings? What up? He says Milrow with that 4.37. I saw that.
That was a cap 4.37. No, that was a pro day inflated Fugazi 4.37. People said they got that joint at like 4.49, 4.51.
Look. I think it makes more likely that the quarterback is there at 29 for a trade opportunity. Like you're not taking Milrow based off of how fast he runs. We can see he ran really fast in the SEC. Like I'm not shocked if that time is legit. But this is what happens when you run at your pro day, right? Like we get ranges. We don't actually get times, right?
It's them COVID 40s all over again, man.
Like Jamin Davis ran a 4.39, 3.7 at his pro day.
Oh,
right?
Everybody got a 4.3 in 2020.
Oh yeah. Hey, what you run? What you run? Yeah, man. I just ran a 4.36, man.
A 4.39.
Yeah. Some slight.
Like, come on, bro. Everybody ain't out here running no 4.3, man. Like, Milrow's fast though. We already knew that.
He is.
So,
but that was never the question,
right?
Like, I hope this doesn't raise his draft stock for anybody. That was never the problem.
What did his throwing session look like?
Yeah, where's that? I haven't heard a single person talk about that.
I ain't seen one clip of him take a 3-step drop and throw.
Nothing.
I watched him at the combine. I was like, yeah, you should run at your pro day, bro. You should absolutely run at your pro day. Yeah, he won't. If somebody's thinking about trading up for a quarterback at 29, it won't be for him. Trust me. It'll be for the Ole Miss quarterback.
Jackson Dart.
Yep, Jackson Dart. Finesse the plug. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. 2 questions, strictly hypothetical. Would you take? It said, would it take to feel comfortable? What would it take to feel comfortable trading away Jaden Daniels now? I mean, that's not even a question. Who's y'all favorite day 2 draft players? There is nothing you could offer me.
That's offensive.
To trade Jaden Daniels away.
I can't even give it thought.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, that's blasphemy.
Yep.
Right there. I would tell you right now that of the quarterbacks in the league, he's one of the untradables. It's probably like 5 to 7 dudes that you just like, bro, there's no way you're trading that guy. And he's one of them right now. As far as draft, day 2 draft players, you guys got any favorites that you know will be there in day 2 of the draft?
The running back pair from Ohio State, Judkins and Henderson are up there for me. I like Kyle Kennard, and I like a couple of DBs. Like I like the safety from Ohio State, Luther Ransom. A lot of Buckeyes on this side, and I like Alabama safety more. I like him as well. Any day 2 guys y'all got your eyes on?
I mean, off top.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say off top though. The 2 Ohio State guys off top, but I would also throw in there Siobhan Revel. He's top 10 talent. It's just the injury.
You saw the update on him today.
Yeah. Well, and but my problem with him is like we got to remember we picked 69th or something like that, like way later. So like our second round pick, not necessarily, but yeah, day 2 in general. I believe Siobhan Revel will be like a huge steal for whoever ends up getting him. I just don't think he's gonna make it as far down to us. Also like that Gray Zabel kid that was like killing it at the Senior Bowl and stuff like that. I honestly did not know about him until the Senior Bowl, and then I went back and looked at him. I really like him. Maybe in the second round if that's the route you want to go. And
they saying he's gonna go in the first round.
It's gotten to that point. Oh well,
they said he's flying up the board, bro.
That's North Dakota State kid, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they said he's going in the first round, bro.
And then lastly, I got to throw my boy Tate Ratledge in there as well. I think he's
say it, Rico. Athletic freak.
Oh yeah, that too. That too on top of it. Yep. Forgot about that part. But I think people are really forgetting about him because if you would have asked me this time last year, I would have told you, oh yeah, next year. 13 months from now, he'll be going top 15, top 20. I think the talent's still there. It was just an off year. I really blame a lot of our just UGA problems in total on Stacey Sorrells is a good recruiter, but he's not. None of our guys have developed since we brought them in from high school. I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like Tate Ratledge kind of fell victim to that. I feel like he goes to the right offensive line coach. I can see Bobby Johnson getting his hands on him becoming a Pro Bowl guard, even if that may not necessarily be one of our biggest needs.
What about you, Ed?
Yeah, I mean, you say any of the running backs like Dylan Sampson, Caleb, Devin Neal, all those guys. I mean, Brayshawn Tootin, you can name 6-7 running backs that may go day 2. I do like Azarae Thomas from Florida State, cornerback. I like him. I think that's somebody we could possibly get in the second round. But I've seen some mocks where he goes late first too. So you just never know with this draft. There's a lot of guys that are interchangeable between the second and first round. I do like Jaden Higgins from a wide receiver standpoint. And on day 2, possibly maybe third round, something like that. So those are the guys that I'm looking at on day 2. And then the question about trading Jaden Daniels, finesse the plug. I'll just say thank you for the donation on that one.
Facts.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
I mean, no reason to even answer that question.
It would trade something. You trade something ridiculous, like something that matters in your personal life, because that's how much Jaden means.
That's a Nico Harrison riot. If somebody did like Dallas fans, Mavericks fans, they came out there with a coffin and they rioted and stuff like that. That's something that would happen.
No, it did. That's nothing even. I
don't even like those words being next to each other in sequence. Jaden Daniels and trade. I don't like that shit.
At all. I don't like it. So there's like schools that I'm kind of fascinated with. Day 2, Rio mentioned Ohio State. They got a plethora of dudes that'll be there. I like Iowa State in day 2. They got the Jalen Noel kid at receiver. They got the Jaden Higgins kid at receiver,
that corner,
and they got Darian Porter at
Darian Porter.
Track star right there.
I like Iowa State day 2. I think they got some really good football players, and I expect all of them to be off the board in day number 2, and we could use all 3 of them. You know, so
I like that viewpoint on it too. Going by school, I like that.
Yeah. I think that you could find a number of guys that are really good, you know, at specific programs in day number 2. Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, C-Mac, writes, hey, Lou, Rio, Rico, and Ed. Hope everyone is well. 4 questions. 1 and 2, how many top 50 players does this team have, and who are they and why? 3 and 4, after the Eagles, name your top 5 teams, the next top 5 teams, and where our team is if they are not on that list, and why.
Top 50 as in like at their position or in the league?
He's talking
in the league.
Jaden Daniels.
I say Jaden and Tunsil.
Jaden Daniels. Tunsil is
top 50.
I think Jaden's the only player that
Jaden's the definitive one. That's the only definitive we know for a fact. Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. It's Jaden.
But without question.
I think Laremy's in there too.
So last year, when they did the top 100, I think he was in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to be significantly higher than he was last year. He was good this year, but that Texans line was awful.
Yeah,
and he was a part of that. Yeah. So I don't think he's going to, elevate. Not that the top 100 list is the end all be all. We all know that that's not the best list in the world, but
it's Jaden.
Could Terry be top 50?
I got Terry top 50.
I mean, he was up there.
That's the question. That's the only other guy that could be.
He's up there because of the touchdowns last year, but he had like barely over 1,000. I don't know if that could qualify for top 50 in the league right now.
Well, he had over 1,000. He just missed 1,100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think in the top 50, you're putting like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and guys up there, a bunch of quarterbacks and stuff like that. I think Terry would just miss the top 50 in the league.
Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think name your top 5 teams after the Eagles. So don't add the Eagles. The next 5 after the Eagles. And if we're not in there, where are we and why?
Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Lions are still up there even with the coordinator changes, right?
Yeah. You got to. I mean, they won 15 games.
I'm looking at the PFF.
I would put us above the Lions, though.
They have a 6 on PFF.
So the odds for the Super Bowl, we were tied for 7th with Cincinnati. I just remember that off the top of my head.
I still don't get how the 49ers are above us in that, too. Like, I'm not getting that one.
Just based off of
reputation.
Who they've been. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They expect to bounce back. Remember, they had a lot of injuries.
I think
that team has been
before free agency, right? That list came up before free agency, right? Because they lost Dre Greenlaw, they lost Hafunga, they lost a bunch of people.
They lost half the team.
That roster has been eradicated.
Yeah, so I think that list came up before free agency. I think after the little, because I'm looking at an updated list right now. They're like 8th. They got the Broncos 8th. They got the Buccaneers 10th, the Rams 9th. The Rams made some good moves. I'm not gonna lie. I think Devontae Adams is gonna help them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking at a list right now, and the Niners are 17th.
Cool.
And I think that's more accurate.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think we're around like 7th or 6th.
Yeah, I got a 6.
I think we're better than the Vikings. I really don't like the Lions after losing offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Like, I think that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I got us. I'm gonna put us above the Lions. I got us 5th. I got the Lions.
I got us.
So who's your 5 after the Eagles, Ed?
Eagles, Chiefs. I got the Chiefs still. I still would take the Chiefs over the Eagles. So Chiefs, Eagles, Ravens, and then us, then the Bills. So that's 5 right there, I think.
Yeah. Well, you got us 4th.
4th. So I got us 4th before the Bills. I got us. I think we can beat the Bills, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chiefs, Bills. I'm trying to think. So I'm trying to do it in order. Definitely Chiefs. I feel like the Ravens have a top 5, top 6 roster. It's just something when it gets like right there when it matters most, they just collapse.
Can't do it.
It's like
they
a
can't do
multi-year
it.
thing.
Yeah.
But on paper, the Ravens should be able to hang with anybody.
Yeah. One of the best run teams in the NFL.
Yeah, and that's literally built for playoff football. It's amazing that they just don't do well in that environment. But ignoring that, I'm gonna go Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. I have us definitely in the top 5. Outside of the Eagles, of course, we're excluding the Eagles.
Right.
So
you got us at 5 right now.
Yeah, I'll put it
to make this even easier. After the Eagles, who's the next best team in the NFC to you?
NFC?
Us. Or the Rams.
I'm gonna go us.
Us or the Rams.
So you got the Lions, you got the Rams, you got the 49ers, you got the Vikings, you have us. Those are the teams that the Buccaneers, absolutely. So those are probably the 6 teams that you would even consider in that conversation.
It would probably be the Lions because their roster is a little bit more ahead of ours, but we're adding to ours, and I like our quarterback better. So if we're talking about what team I think is going to go farther, us. If we're talking about power ranking right now, it would probably be the Lions than us, or like the Lions than the Rams than us.
So the reason I asked that is because you just assume Chiefs, Bills, Ravens are ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
If you put the Lions ahead of us as well, because the one NFC team, then that would put us at 5, so 6th overall, right? But 5th after the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, that's kind of how I feel, right? I don't think there's any more AFC teams that you would put in front of us other than those 3, right? Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. You putting anybody else on that side of the bracket over us?
No, that's it. Because I'm looking at the list. The next team is the Broncos, and we're better than the Broncos.
Broncos and the Bengals.
Broncos defense and offensive line is like that though.
Yeah,
if they get Bo Nix a couple weapons, they're gonna be a squad over there.
So they already got your boy Evan Ingram.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep. All right. So Twin D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Twin D, my guy, writes, "Hey LT Ree," he says, "Daron Payne is his failure to reach some fans' view of his perceived potential due to a lack of motivation, want to, or just plain limited ability. I never saw him as that dude at defensive tackle." So what do you guys think about Daron Payne? Is his perceived potential due to a lack of motivation or want to, or is he just limited and not as good as we saw in 2022?
I think there's a limitation to it, but I also feel like he's very dependent upon like who's next to him. Like whenever Jonathan Allen's healthy, he plays better. When he's not getting all of the attention, he plays better. He's not one of those guys that can Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, eat up double teams. Even when the offense game plans against them, they find a way to still wreck the game. He's not that guy.
Right.
So I guess my answer would be limited, but I feel like he you can break through that limit a little bit as long as he has a good player next to him.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Ed?
I think. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, no, I think basically Rico said it pretty well. I think he did a good job getting to the quarterback last year as far as pressures. Struggle stopping a run, just like everybody. He's not the only one. But yeah, when he has somebody next to him or edge rusher that's really good, that's when he's at his best. Still has problems just finishing plays. Him and Jonathan Allen, they will always be known for missing tackles on the quarterback, not wrapping up, not finishing plays. But of course, they have their moments where they had, good seasons where they were able to get to the quarterback. But yeah, no, just the first round. I mean, it just goes back to all the first round picks that we had on that D line. They just didn't live up to the hype. They're good players. And they had dominant spurts and dominant moments, but just the consistency throughout a whole season or consistency for their whole careers, we just haven't seen it. They haven't lived up to the hype. So the expectation of what they were, they just, unfortunately, they all didn't reach that potential. They've had good seasons. Like I said, they've had Pro Bowl seasons here and there, but to dominate like we're looking at other defensive tackles, like you guys brought up Aaron Donald or I hate to say Jalen Carter, other guys like that. We just haven't seen consistent dominance from those guys. And we've seen frustrating moments from them when they fought each other, like we brought up John Allen and Daron Payne fighting each other and whatnot. But yeah, Daron's a good player. Like he's a good player, just like John Allen was a good player, but they just didn't live up to the hype that we had for all 4 of the first round picks, to be honest.
I think we do this. We inflate our guys. You know, we're too close to the situation. Some guys are just good. We look at them like they're superstars and we expect superstar production out of these guys. Some people turn up for a contract year. Some people are that on a regular basis. Look at what Trey Hendrickson and those guys of the world are. They do this year in, year out. When you see an extremely abnormal spike of production in the contract year, you need to look at it with glasses on. You know, you need to look at it with glasses and your contacts on, because he's closer to who he was he is who we've seen these last couple years closer to than that 1 year where he gave us 12 sacks. That's not who he is. That's not who he's going to be. And like y'all said, he is who he's around. You know, he's a product of his environment, and that is why I did not want to go D tackle in consecutive years. I wanted Derwin James. I mean, was that Derwin James? John?
Yeah,
it was
he was
Minka.
Yes, it was.
Minka.
Yes.
I wanted Minka or Derwin James in the building. I didn't want to go back to back. I felt it was a little bit redundant. Get one really good guy and then get a jag, put it next to him that does his job. But instead, we're out here handing extensions out to guys that are good, but we need more. We're paying you top freight. We're not getting top freight production. So I think the answer is somewhere in between.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Daron Payne's, but not to the extent of what happened after 2022. Like, I didn't want him in the first place. You guys know that. That's been documented. You guys have seen that multiple times. But once he was here, I was like, hey, look, he's here. It is what it is. He's family now. I'm going to rock with him. But I think most of us thought he was the guy that, because remember, when we assembled that defensive line, of all the guys, he was the one that we didn't think was going to get paid. You know, Allen was the one that everybody tried to put in the trades back in the day. And then when they saw that he was going to get paid, then it was like, well, we definitely paying Chase Young and Montez Sweat. So we can't pay all 4 of them. Well, it's got to be Daron Payne. That's the odd man out. Remember, they picked up Daron's 5th-year option, but they didn't give him an extension because they didn't expect him. They drafted Fedarian Mathis because they expected to let him walk. And then he balled out in 2022 and they was like, oh, damn, right? This man got double-digit sacks. And we just haven't seen that guy since, man. And it's disappointing because there have been moments. That Denver Broncos game from 2023,
dominant.
There was a possession there where he
every play,
3 straight plays,
plays. He wrecked the entire possession. You're like, yo, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep. That's what
but you see those flashes from him, but they're not consistent. And that's the part that's so frustrating with Daron is you see the flashes, but the consistency is lacking. And so I don't think he lacks motivation or anything like that. I just think, like everyone has said, there's a combination of both. Like, he's really not like that. You know what I'm saying? That one season he had was crazy, but that's not a great representation of who he is. You know what I mean? It was almost like an out-of-body experience he had. So he's a good player. Like Ed said, he's a good player, but he's not one of those top guys. So,
and this is technically a contract year for him because he could get done just like we did Jonathan Allen.
He feels like he's the next one up on the block. Yeah. You know, like literally, Rico, this is a contract year because he is in Jonathan Allen territory next year. Period.
Yep. No guaranteed money. Limited guaranteed money.
Paul Kyoko, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Debo needs to show up in his interview presser in a plaid shirt like Friday.
On a bicycle. On a little bicycle.
That'll be crazy if he did that, man.
Debo coming.
He ain't locked in like that. He ain't locked in like that. The social media team would love it because they've been locked in with all the Debo references since we got him, but he ain't locked in like that. Twin D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, to Rio's point, JD5's worst season being his first, a buddy of mine inexplicably thinks it will be his best. Shaking my head. Looking at his year-to-year ascension in college and his first NFL season, he keeps improving.
That's what they hope.
It's a lot of haters out there, man.
A whole bunch of
are praying for this man's downfall, right? Pray and pray on my downfall. They praying on JD5's downfall because he was so polarizing last year. Like, he was must see. I told y'all I had a buddy who's a Raiders fan. He said Jaden Daniels was must see TV. He was like, it was to the point where if y'all were on, I was watching y'all game over my game. It was like the Michael Vick experience.
Yep.
I needed to be there. I needed to see it,
especially in the second half.
It was wild. I mean, he was that guy. Like, he took the NFL by storm. People don't like when a young dude comes in and takes their shine. So it's a lot of haters out there. That's like, because it's a lot of people who are mad because he's better than their quarterback. So now they're hoping that it was a fluke last year. Oh, it's tape out there. You didn't think other teams had tape on them last year?
Yeah, like great quarterbacks don't get tape on them all the time, and they continue to be great quarterbacks.
They didn't start watching tape on him until this offseason. Like, nobody, exactly. His week 16 opponent didn't even try to watch his week 8 game. Like, there's none.
The tape is out as the most casual shit somebody.
Stupidest thing ever, bro.
Like, we don't have the tape too. Like, quarterbacks just can't get tape. No quarterbacks is legally on.
Like, Jaden don't got the tape in the VR right now.
Yeah,
that's wild.
And my biggest thing with the whole JD thing is that, like, the reason why I'm very confident that he's only going to get better is because nothing last year really looked difficult. It kind of did a little bit in the very beginning, but after a while, it didn't really look like luck. It didn't look difficult. It just looked like every day at the office type of stuff. And I'm just not, watching him and looking for potential regression. I don't really see it. I really don't.
Nothing was gimmicky. It all looked sustainable.
Right.
He's only going to get better. He has the same offensive coordinator. Him and Cliff are going to get even better together, the chemistry. And then the chemistry with Terry is going to get even better. I mean, you saw the first 2 games, they had zero chemistry, and it took them 3 games to click. And once they clicked, they went crazy together. So, I mean, you got a lot of guys coming back, too. Him and Noyak, Zach got great chemistry, too. So, like, he's only going to get better guys. And he loves Noah Brown, too. Like, he loves targeting Noah. Deebo's going to make him better. A better running back is going to make him better. Laremy Tunsil's going to make him better.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's like so many things like he's going to improve on.
Those are great points, especially Rio saying that. What did you just say? I literally have it just escaped my mind. What did you?
You said what? Oh, about the VR. The VR, like he has the tape already queued up in his VR right now.
It was whatever you said.
He gets to the training camp facility.
Oh, everything that he does is sustainable and not.
That's
gimmicky.
Right. That's the one. Like, Robert Griffin III was gimmicky, right? There was no sustainability in that. He had to improve and get better, right? How many times you gonna run that drift route, right?
Yep. That slant pop pass.
Yeah,
that RPO.
It was
pop
only
pass.
so many times you could run that and get away with it before they start taking that stuff away and force you to read the field. Like, Jaden, what he did last year is absolutely sustainable. So, and like Ed said, that's another great point. There's so many things that have improved around him that's going to also help him be, better in year 2. So, that's a crazy conversation. I love it though.
Hey, my guy, let's go,
Tony. Hey, Paza. Tony with the hundo piece. Really appreciate you, Tony, man. Thank you for the support. Writes, what do you guys think about Travion Henderson running back at 29? Will he still be available, or would you trade back? So he wants to know about Travion Henderson. Is 29 too soon? Would you trade back? Will he even still be available at 29? Let's talk Travion Henderson.
I'm not mad at it at pick 29. I mean, he's a great player. It's a need. I mean, you don't want to always draft for need, but he's a good player. I mean, him at 29 would improve. Like we talked about this running back room anyway. We just need an upgrade over B-Rob at this point. So I wouldn't be mad if Adam picked Travion Henderson at pick 29 at all. Like, I wouldn't be mad at it.
It wouldn't be my best case scenario, but if it happened, first of all, I would just be excited off of the fact that they believe in him that much to take him at 29, to not even wait to see if he may be there in the late second, or even to potentially trade back and hope that he's still there. They're like running to the podium to get him if they get him at 29. At that point, I'm assuming that Cliff Kingsbury already has the entire offense dreamt of, already mapped out. Jaden Daniels, everybody already knows this is how we're going to showcase this guy and get the most out of him. So I wouldn't be mad at it at all. Again, it's not my best case scenario, but I'm assuming, and I mean, after what we just achieved last year with very little that we have, why can we not assume best case scenario, or at least near it, with any decisions that Adam Peters makes?
I wouldn't be mad at it at all, man, because when I look at the roster right now, there's a couple glaring holes, and one is that running back room. It's a very full running back room. There's not room on the bus for everybody that's in it as we currently speak. Travion Henderson is on my short list of guys I would love to have us, and you never know. Nobody had Jahmyr Gibbs going 12th in the draft the year that the Lions took him. People were calling that a reach. People were calling most of what the Lions did that draft a reach. When you love somebody, when you have conviction, you take them. Who was in Detroit when they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs? Lance Newmark. Who was our assistant general manager? Lance Newmark. Somebody could want to take that guy before us. I could see Sean Payton taking Travion Henderson at 20 and saying, you're new Alvin Kamara for me because I'm making my great value brand Breeze and Kamara in Denver right now. So I don't think it would be too early for Travion Henderson. I think people will take the next running back off the board once Genty and Hampton come off the board. Someone's going to start the next run on them. And why not us at 29? I'd be totally fine with it.
Maurice Jones-Drew actually has him as the second back in the draft.
Ooh.
So, and you want to hear a bigger curveball? He has Amari and Hampton as his seventh best back.
Seventh is crazy. Nah. Okay, Travion Henderson second. I can see it, especially off the ceiling.
We got number 3,
but that's crazy.
I think he
Judkins?
has.
I'm assuming Johnson, but I don't know.
I think it was. He had tiers, so his
and he is a running back, so that's interesting.
He had tiers, so his first tier was 2 guys. It was Genty and Travion Henderson. Then the second tier was like 4 guys, and then the next tier, the third tier, Marion Hampton was the first guy in the third tier. I think the second tier was like Judkins. Caleb Johnson. I think he liked Gideon's. I think
Kansas State.
Yeah. I gotta look at it again. It caught me off guard when he had Omarion all the way down there.
I got it. I pulled it up. All right. So Ashton Genty, Travion Henderson.
Yeah.
Cam Scatterbo.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Then Quinston Junkins.
That's where you lost me.
Yeah.
And so those are all the day one starters. Then system backs.
Yeah.
DJ Giddens, then RJ Harvey, then Amari
and Hampton, 7th. Yeah.
Then he has ETN and Woody Marks. Oh my God. Yo, people love Cam Scatterbo, bro. I do not love Cam Scatterbo as an NFL running back.
I mean, look, it's a lot of people. It's Commanders fans that want to draft this dude.
Everybody loves Cam Scatterbo.
John
Riggins, go ahead.
Cool,
John Riggins.
That's Toby Gerhart light right there.
Yeah, hey, look, man, I am so good on Cam Scatterbo, but I'm telling you right now, man. There are a lot of people in that fan club, bro.
Fans will love him.
39-inch vertical.
Hey, look. My thing is, if you're jumping that high, why you ain't run? Why you ain't run the 40?
Right.
Run the 40. Yeah. Right?
That boy ducked that. He ducked that. I wonder how they gonna inflate that time at the
right. He about to run a 4.48. And then somebody else was like, well, I had him on a 4.61, right? Like we have these crazy splits and ridiculous range. And I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. Okay, if you ran a 4.48, whatever. All right. And then some people are gonna justify it because, like you said, 39-inch vert, right? Which is supposed to suggest he can run.
That's fire. Are we throwing oops to him or we handing him the rock? Man? What we doing?
That Billy Oil, man.
I love it. I love it. Oh man! Once again, big shout out to Troy, man. Really appreciate you, Mandalorian. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Mandalorian writes, "What games this year would you guys be attending? I'm heading to Atlanta for Shore Streets. Will you pop out to that game? Rio and Ed, what home games do you have locked in? Lou, I know you don't come outside. You got it.
I ain't missing an Atlanta game in Atlanta versus the Commanders. You ain't got to worry about that. I'm there every time. Every time.
Yeah. What game are y'all going to? What
right now, I'm looking at the Raiders game. That looks like a homecoming game, homecoming win type of game.
Alumni weekend.
Yeah,
weekend. Y'all ain't shit.
Oh, so Geno's their quarterback now. Okay, we should the dub against them. So
I'm
looking at
disrespect the Raiders like that.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at the Giants game too. That's looking like a homecoming type of game there too. So Giants, Raiders, and
y'all went to the dopest joint, like for like.
Oh my God, did we?
Yeah, y'all went to that Falcons game. Y'all went to that joint.
We got to Coronation Day.
That was a historical moment.
And they had that joint on the episode 2, and it was lit.
Oh, I've never seen that type of fan energy on there, man.
Yeah, after that game, it was like, we going to the playoffs.
Oh my God.
Yo, so it's gonna be. And look, y'all know we getting 5. We a PTPer now, so we getting 5 primetime games and a 6th random joint like Black Friday, Christmas. Yeah, so just be prepared. Y'all know what it is now. We got one of them ones at quarterback. So
us at Mahomes on Christmas Day, and we playing Thanksgiving. What's up?
Nah, please leave me alone on Turkey Day, man. Just let me live, bro.
I'm gonna say the 2 games where I feel like we should be favored by at least 6 or 7 points. Give me the Raiders home game, give me the Giants home game. So I can go home happy.
I need to see the schedule and see the order of when we play folks before I let people know if I'm gonna pop out or not. You know, I gotta plan that ahead of time. I got planned it ahead of time. I know my son trying to get out there for one. And
you didn't turn him into a beast now.
Yeah, he wanna get out there for one. So he might want to go to the Denver game because his boy is a Broncos fan and they bicker back and forth like it's crazy. They Bo Nix versus Jaden juxtaposed on a daily basis, and his friend really thinks Bo is better.
Yeah, they gonna hype that game up. I wouldn't be shocked if we get that on a prime time day.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's week 1. That sounds week 1.
Because we playing Sunday Night Football week 1. Oh, if we're not the Eagles' opponent week 1, and they don't send us to like Brazil,
it's Sunday or Monday.
Because you know we could be in like that Brazil game. It's also another game that is overseas. Spain against the Dolphins. Like I think that could be us too. Like I wouldn't be shocked if they try to send us to one of these international games. So just be prepared. It's a different life now, y'all. Just trying to tell you, I'm trying to prepare y'all for this. Either we international week 1 or we on Sunday Night Football or Monday night, one of the 2.
I'm with it.
We actually play the Bears at home again, so that's going to be a nationally televised.
That's one I would like to be at. I would like to be at.
Oh, at least. You know, they out here calling us their rivals now. Did y'all see that?
We don't care about you.
Yo, I was weak when I saw that, man. It was like, I think we have new rivals, and it was us. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, bless their heart.
Oh my God. They just can't let it go.
What's wrong with them?
I don't know, man.
We not looking at y'all, bro.
Man, that's a tough, bitter pill as well. We ended their season, bro, in epic fashion. They did not win another game till week 18 last year.
We ended their season in October.
Oh, that's wild. They
broken spirits, man.
They are counting down the days until they get at us.
And what's crazy is they were 4-2 when we beat them,
bro. They were like that was a marquee matchup. They were 4-2, and we were like
5-2.
5-2, right? They had just come off of a bye week, bro.
Yep.
They didn't win another game till week 18, bro. And they against the Packers. Like, that's wild.
Tough life, man. Tough life.
Oh, Devon, man, it was so epic how we did them boys. Like, they were talking so much noise. And to end them in that fashion, there ain't no coming back from that. Devon, Cash, Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you.
Davon,
hey,
what up?
Hey, Davon. Thank you for the super, man. Really appreciate you. The $50 dono, man, writes, what's good, Kings? What's good, Davon? Says, hope you all are doing well this week. But anyway, after watching the Commanders logs, if I have to think one week that I love is that Lions week. Watching Rio get put on the cross by many Lions fans and seeing the aftermath. I'll never forget. I remember Rio going on that Lions podcast, that Lions
Woodward
show.
Sports. Woodward Sports.
And I had never heard of them dudes before you went up there, bro. Never. And then you had me going up on a page, looking at all of their comments, looking at all their videos.
They were talking crazy to me, bro.
It was so many Lions fans that were so disrespectful. Like they didn't, but this is the thing I said to our fan base, like, you got to give the Lions fans a little grace. They weren't watching us, right? We were supposed to be ass last year. So we weren't on their radar. They were really good the year before. They made it to the NFC Championship game. They repeated that they followed that up with a 15-win season. And so they had their eyes set on Baker Mayfield. They only lost 2 games last year in the regular season. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, and they lost to the Bills, right? Those were their 2 losses. So they had a chance to exact a measure of revenge on the only team in the NFC to beat them. So they were so dead set on getting the Bucks again, and then we upset them, and they were like, "You, man, I bet we finna go to the NFC Championship game."
They thought we was a Make-A-Wish football team, bro. Like they did not think, "Oh, your little rookie quarterback."
They didn't even realize how good he was, bro. They was so disrespectful on so many different levels. That was it. It made it that much sweeter when we
crash outs. I streamed like an hour of their watch party during my 12-hour watch party. Their tears, man.
That was crazy, especially with the delay.
They were like fighting with each other. Like,
hey, go ahead, man. I learned the hard way about mocking people at they watch parties because the Eagles fans killed me.
Oh yeah. I had to get up out of there as soon as that NFC Championship game, man. I couldn't take it, bro.
Bro, they were reposting clips of me losing it like the first play. I got the mic, and then Saquon bust off this. I'm like, and then you can see the reaction, and they like reposted it on social media. I opened up my X, and my shit is flooded with them just reposting clips of my stream like, hey, we need to stop right here. And then AJ Brown on 4th and 5. Boop. So I leave people alone now. I let them have their stuff in peace, bro. But them Bears fans though, that crash out. That was a holding. How did they not call that? Like, bro, if you worried about a holding on a Hail Mary, bro, hey, look, I can't help you if you crying about a holding on a Hail Mary.
You mad at Tyree Stevenson.
Yeah, right. So Ninja X, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Hey,
let's go.
Really appreciate the $50 dono, man, who writes, the sum of the parts of the DBs and D-line versus the pass D and run defense results show that the run defense is more important than the pass rush. Time control is king. Pass game is not a given. If we can stop the run, it pressures QBs to outdo JD5, and you can't, Jerry. Squad.
I completely agree. And also, like, the passing game, no matter how great you are at it, has so much variance. Like, it's volatile. You know, there could be a bad defense, but anything can happen when the ball's in there. You can bat it down, whatever. A receiver could drop it, but running the ball, I mean, granted, there's a chance of fumbling, but it's way less volatile than passing the ball. So if you can stop the more consistent thing that has like a far higher chance of guaranteed success, definitely do that. And so I think we're definitely right with the approach. I would like to be able to add some pass rush, but we're doing this the right way for sure.
Yeah, the variables that are factored into a pass play being successful are so much more plentiful than a run play, right? Where literally you just turn around. If the snap's good, the handoff is good. The back just has to not fumble at that point if you can't stop the run, right? So Yeah,
or the
I get
Baker
it.
Mayfield hand dog. The Baker Mayfield hand dog.
Exactly, right? You need some luck in those type of situations because we weren't going to stop them. Like we weren't going to get that stop. And what's going to be interesting is, can we do the thing? Like that's one of the things I'm interested. There's no way we can replicate the 4th down success we had last year. That was an NFL record.
Yep,
right?
We'll never see that again. That was crazy.
That was insane. Okay. And so
if we have a good enough kicker, we probably won't even attempt it again.
And you're right about that too. There were certain instances where they just said, we don't trust the kicking game right now. Let's just go for this. But that was part of the reason we were able to be successful defensively, because we all knew our defensive ratings and rankings weren't accurate. We watched this defense. We were top 5 for most of the year in pass defense.
Yeah, and that was cap. That was so cap.
We knew better than that. We were giving up like 187 yards a game. We knew why. Our offense was controlling the hell out of the football.
We was putting so much points up. Y'all didn't have time to throw the ball on us.
It was crazy, right? So the thing that's going to be interesting is, can we be efficient on offense again to keep the defense off the field? And if they are on the field, will teams just say, okay, you can stop the run, but can you stop the pass? And are we like, I hope that we're able to generate pass rush, because what I don't want, because we've been here before, is the 28th ranked 3rd down defense. Because you get to 3rd and 7, you can't get to the quarterback, and they're killing us on 3rd downs. Remember at the beginning of the season this year? Remember when we couldn't get a stop on 3rd down?
Oh my God! I used to fear 3rd down.
61% for the first 3 weeks of the season. It wasn't until the Arizona game where we started to turn it around. We couldn't stop Daniel Jones in week 2.
Nope.
He was killing us.
Them and neighbors every time. Same play. Same
result every time. Just a simple hitch. And then Michael Davis would go flying and miss the Dago tackle, and he would turn up the field. It's ridiculous.
Michael Davis don't even move like a professional football player. Like seeing him show up on the Commanders log, it looks like an actor. Like
I feel so bad. I feel so bad for telling y'all he was gonna be the new Ronald Darby, man.
Hey, my man be on the field moving like the All-American cast, man. Like that shit looks crazy.
Hey, it's wild, like how bad he was last year. It was
we all wrong sometime, man.
That was a really bad one though. I was so hurt how bad he was last year. That hurt my soul, boy. I was rooting for him to get out there. Like, all right, Mike, this it, man. You about to show him. And every time he get out there, Drake London is cooking this man. Like
on a 3rd and 19.
Bro, that would look. They showed that on episode 2, bro. It was a 22-yard loss. It was 3rd and goal from the 28. 3rd and goal from the 28.
Oh, we seen it in person. That shit was terrible, bro.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was wild.
4th down, and you let Kyle Pitts run into the one spot.
A rookie quarterback and his 2nd start, bro.
I said, I hate this defense. I hate it here, bro. I hate this defense. You can't ask them to do nothing at the end.
I like sat in silence at that game. I was like, oh no.
202 Titus. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Right. So what do you think of Dante Thornton Jr. in the later rounds?
Height, weight, speed guy right there. Very tall, very fast. I would be fine with us taking a flyer.
Yeah, that's the Tennessee receiver, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, he can fly. I'm always leery of them Tennessee dudes. What's the one that
Jalen Hyatt?
Yeah, I'm just like, they don't do a lot. Like it reminds me a lot of what's the dude that used to play for the Bills that went to the Jaguars this past
Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis.
They don't do a lot. He reminds me a lot of those type of dudes, like one-trick ponies in college. They just run one route. Like all he runs, Dante Thornton Jr., all he runs is post routes, deep posts.
I hope Kirby Smart is saying that in recruiting rooms, please.
Like, bro, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he can run though, but we can use some speed. I just talked about De'Ami Brown's speed not being, not having another guy, so we could use some speed. But you hope that you got a little bit more to your game than that. Christopher McLaughlin, my guy, C-Mac, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, hey, Lou, Rico, Rico, and Ed. FYI, if Terry averages the same amount of yards and touchdowns that he has been for the next 6 seasons, he passes Art Monk for #1 in team history. Definitely doable. Is he a Hall of Fame worthy wide receiver if he does?
Yeah, for 6 seasons, yeah.
Are we talking about like the average of his career so far, or are we talking about this year?
I mean, they probably one and the same, bro.
Oh, yeah. The touchdowns were the only thing that inflated.
That right. Yeah. So before this season, his high in touchdowns was 7. So the average, I would guess, would be like 6 or 7 touchdowns. What's this year? That was year 6, right? That he just had.
So that would put him about 12, 13,000 yards, and let's call it 40. Oh, let's call it 50 touchdowns. 50.
I think what holds them back is the touchdowns, because you have the argument. Because I remember seeing that stat that like him and Mike Evans have the longest standing run of 1,000-yard consecutive seasons, and it was like a big gap between them and the next guy. But those touchdowns, man, I think that's what would probably, if he doesn't, it's because of the touchdowns.
It sucks that he got their concussion in the second to last game of his rookie season, because he would have eclipsed 1,000, and then he would have been on that same trajectory as Mike Evans.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Where you have X amount of seasons to start your career with 1,000 yards. It sucks that he's missing out on that, because in order for him to get in, he's going to have to do something that no other receiver has done, or few have ever done in NFL history, because there are certain numbers that his just don't stack up. Yep. Right. He's not going to have the yards when it's all said and done. Like when you look at the guys that are in the Hall of Fame, or the guys of his era, he's not going to have the yards, right?
Especially since he started older too.
Yeah,
he was old when he came in. Yep.
Right.
I think that and the winning will help too. I think the winning will help with the name for sure, and the popularity.
That is a great point.
That's a big part.
Yeah, because him and Jaden win a couple bowls, and Terry has some of those games in the Super Bowl. That type of stuff matters.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That absolutely could
Great
change
point, Ed.
the narrative for sure. So those are some things he's gonna have to do. Either something that few have done, which he's gonna have to continue on this 1,000-yard thing, or like Ed said, he's gonna have to win and win big. And if you do that while compiling these numbers, it's hard to keep a guy out, if you're super successful winning. So DC Community Carrot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, shout out to Ed, dad hat for every occasion. Nobody does it like Ed, man. HTTP.
I'm wearing a headband lately too. I tried to switch it up. So I did try to switch it up for free agency. I've been wearing the headband that I got too. Salute to service as well. But thank you, man. Thank you, DC Community Carrot.
Nobody does it like Ed, bro. Nobody freaks the dad hat like Ed, man. And I was about to say something. I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead, man. I'm gonna while I'm ahead. I'm about to get called.
See now, now I want to know.
Yeah, no, I'm keep that.
Keep it in the tuck. Keep it in the tuck.
I'm getting better, man. I'm getting better.
Keep it in the tuck, Lou.
Yeah, I'm getting better, man. I tell you, I'm getting better. Chris Hunter, thank you. Y'all would have killed me if I would have said that too. Chris Hunter, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Chris writes, seeing Jaden throw the football, man, that boy talented. And it's crazy going back to the highlights from his Heisman season. He played the same exact way.
Yep.
I remember Darius Slay saying on the podcast that he was on when he was talking about quarterbacks and stuff, he was like, man, I did not think he could throw the ball that far being that damn skinny. He's like, that's the play. He was talking about the play where Diami cooked him, right? Ran right by him, and Jaden just flung it like 45 yards in the air. And he just didn't expect that from him. And Jaden, his arm is a lot stronger than I thought too. Watching
so much more arm talent than people thought coming in.
I didn't think his arm was going to be as strong as it was.
And the release is like lightning fast.
It's fast, yeah.
You can see the release, but even at his pro day, his arm didn't look like wow, like Zach Wilson. Like it didn't look like that there.
I didn't see this, man. Like I was shocked when we watched him in the preseason. I was like, whoa. That first game against the Jets, he had the deep ball to Diami.
And it was beautiful. His ball placement.
It was like, whoa.
His ball placement, great. Like one of my favorite plays of the year from Jaden didn't even count. Remember on that first drive versus the Bears, that first drive where he was rolling and Sweat was about to take him down, and he throws it to the top pylon to Luke McCaffrey. He actually threw a catchable ball there. Bro, that made no sense to me.
We talked about that. Me and you talked about that probably for like 10 minutes. We was wilding on that play. Like, what the hell?
That was insane. That was insanity. Oh my! I was okay. Yeah, he's the Eagle. He is so different, bro. Like people don't even realize that play would have been all over the screens like a Mahomes pass if Luke got his feet in.
That was crazy. It's crazy. Nectar, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Nectar writes, I like our offseason so far. It's been good and have liked all the signings and re-signings. I think Peters and company made a generous offer for Debo. I like B-Rob, but Rodriguez more. Good work. And, you know, it's funny because when you watch that episode 2, you know, C-Rod got a little bit of love in there. Yeah. Obviously, the Falcons touchdown. He had a touchdown against the Titans. They showed that one, too. There was a clip of Zach Ertz on the bench saying, I like this B-Rob. You're right. He was telling him, I like this 8. I like this 8. Because that was the Lions game, because that was the last time like we really saw B-Rob come alive. He ran well. We ran the ball very effectively against. They couldn't stop anything in that game.
Remember the Titans?
No, the Lions.
The Lions game.
Yeah, good game that game.
Eckler had a good game on the ground. B-Rob had a good game on the ground. Jaden was throwing the ball, and Jaden had a solid game on the ground. Like
we did everything we wanted versus them, but we put up 45, and I think that we could have did more.
Oh, without question. If B-Rob didn't mess up the first possession when they had that nice little trick play called up where we was going to fake the quarterback sneak and then
pitch it to Jaden. Yeah.
Man, we probably would have scored on that possession too.
We would have put up 52 on them.
Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Swaggy P writes, Commander Kanks. The Commander's logs were absolute cinema. I wish we had a Wawa close enough to me so I could get me a buffalo chicken quesadilla.
That's on fire.
That's on fire. And mac and cheese to eat and watch them both back to back. I am vegan now, but when I wasn't, them quesadillas at Wawa, they hit different, bro.
Slap.
Yes.
I live right by Wawa. I'm here.
Hey, they don't miss with that joint, bro. They were so good. I went and made me a smoothie, and I sat down like I was at the movies, bro. Like, I knew what I was getting into. Like, hey, they had put out the post, Commander's log in an hour. I'm like,
drop it in an hour out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Oh yeah, you know what it is. But my son was killing me that night because he took till 9 o'clock to finish his homework. Like, come on, bro, I got some business to attend to tonight. Man. You're killing me right now, Smalls.
We starving, man.
Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, my buddy Cap Ed says like the juice he brings to the game. Hashtag pause. The juice
that one wasn't that bad.
That's not egregious.
That's not a bad one.
The pass rush.
I said that's to the level that New Yorkers will pause. New Yorkers pause everything.
Every goddamn thing.
Speak around them.
You can't say a whole sentence without a pause. Right?
Yeah,
like,
around New York.
I was like, damn, what was that one for?
It starts to make me wonder a bit. Like, are y'all okay?
I tell you, it's a lot like right, that. It ain't just Cam.
Because I do it out of joking. I do it as pure jokes. Like they be dead serious.
No, dead ass.
Dead ass, B. Dead ass, B.
Yo, I be saying stuff and I know they about to wild out when I say it. And I say it and then they go crazy in the comment section. But them New York dudes, I'm like, bro, did you even have to say it after that? Like, seriously. Like, that didn't require a pause.
It's like in middle sentence to like few words pause. Like they make sure it's like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna get a fine at the end of the day if they don't pause everything they're supposed to, so they overdo it or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
I worry about those guys.
Yeah, it's wild. Bloodshot Sports, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Bloodshot writes, hope we get contract year production.
Don't count on it.
I wouldn't either.
And even if we do, I'm a little afraid that he knows like he's up for the Jonathan Allen situation next year. Maybe it could be that.
Hey, I'll take it for 1 year. Don't look for the extension, bro.
It would piss me off though, because I know what you are at this point. You're just a bag getter. You're a bag getter. You don't exert enough energy when a bag is not on the line.
Hey,
bro. That's not culture.
If he did that again, then I would look at him on some Albert Hainsworth shit. Like, bro, you've been selling this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's wild if you were able to do it yet again. Like, if that's the case, you should be able to do it because you're capable. I just don't bet on that.
I feel like Kinlaw do it before Payne do. Now, what if Kinlaw come in and just wreck stuff, bro?
Look, man, one of these dudes finna have a career year, I think. Yeah. Like
Dante Fowler, he better have the Fowler year. Kinlaw.
It's either gonna be Kinlaw or it's gonna be the edge rusher.
Dietrich.
No.
Martin. Jacob Martin.
Like, I don't know if y'all like aware, like I knew of Jacob Martin since his rookie season. Like, he was a big part of the Jadeveon Clowney trade. When they traded him from Houston to Seattle, they made like the centerpiece of what they were getting back, Houston was getting back, was Jacob Martin. He's super athletic. If you watch him rush, he's so fluid. There's a spin move. And he talked about the thing he's gotten better with is his technique. There's talent there. For whatever reason, it doesn't manifest itself to sack production. I could see him coming in here and leaving with 9.5 sacks next year and having a career year. His most in the season is 4. So anything over 4 is a career year for him. I could see him getting 8.5, 9.5 sacks next year. So somebody's going to have a career year, I think.
I hope it's Kinlaw based on what we paying him now.
Yeah. I mean, to validate the pay, because that's the thing that really threw a lot of people off was how much he got paid. Yep. Tony, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Tony, who writes, my sports junkies, Ed is Lurch, Louie is JP, Rico is Bickle, and Rio is Johnny Cakes.
We'll clean them boys up, man.
You ain't never lied, bro. You never lied, man. DC Community Carrot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. I'm down to pay money for a season opener watch party with the Commanders Kings. What's up with it? Cowboys will remain NFC East last until Jerry steps down. We should do that for a game this season. One game where we do a watch party, like just come together. We might do that for a game. We'll see. Everybody got stuff going on their individual channels though, so we'd have to coordinate and figure it out. But it's going to be interesting to see what Dallas does. They going out here and getting everybody's loose change, right? Yep. Everybody's discarded items. They at the yard sale, racking up. Yep. Miles Sanders, Khair Elam.
And they got a first-year coach.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff. Who else they got? They had what running back? Javonte
Williams.
Somebody else. It was like, boy, y'all love
Miles Sanders. Yeah, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams.
Yeah, it's a lot of
snapper.
Yeah, it's a lot of interesting goods that they've acquired there. But we'll see.
They about to get something nice at 12, though.
Look, I wouldn't be shocked. You know how they get down, man. I wouldn't be shocked if
lineman.
Yeah, Booker. They took Booker at 12, like,
and turned him into a freaking Hall of Famer.
Michigan defensive lineman they reached on a couple of years ago?
Oh man,
Mozzie Smith.
Yeah, Mozzie Smith. Yeah, I'm hoping they do that again.
Yeah. I see them taking an offensive lineman. It wouldn't shock me. Cowboys fans would absolutely kirk.
Out. Give me that over like Hampton or like McMillan or something at 12 for them. I'll take that.
They gonna rage if they take any non-skill player, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's Jerry's MO. He loved the beef. Chauncey Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. CD, OG, triple OG, right? Slew. B-Rob been hearing all of the doubt with a better run blocking O-line. He's my X factor this year. I agree we need a speed back, but B-Rob is a baller. I told y'all that I am a B-Rob stan. Like I think that B-Rob isn't. I wouldn't call him a baller necessarily.
Yeah,
but
it's a little aggressive.
I will tell you that he's a good running back in this league, and he's not getting enough credit. I remember a time. I'm old enough to remember a time when B-Rob was a necessary evil for us. I remember us talking about, man, if we had B-Rob against the Ravens, we would have won that game.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and act like B-Rob all of a sudden is trash and he can't play and this, that, and the third. But y'all hear that echo? Or is that just me?
Yeah, there is echo. I do hear echo.
Check. I don't hear it.
We're good now.
Okay.
We're good now.
So we definitely need a speed back. But the question is, B-Rob's going into the last year of his deal. Are you drafting a B-Rob replacement or a guy that is a complement to him, along with Eckler? So that's the question. Because if you draft a Travion Henderson, that's the Austin Eckler role to me.
Yep.
Travion Henderson is not an every down back. You know, he's 205 pounds. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a speed home run threat. He's a great pass blocker. What does that sound like to you? Third down back. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not drafted Travion Henderson to be your every down back. But if you draft like Quinshawn Judkins,
yeah, that's a workhorse right there.
That's okay. B-Rob, you finna get phased out, bro. Like that. So it's levels to this. We'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah. They'll tell you exactly what the plan is when we see which type of running back that they take.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Queen Heritage Partners. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, would you rather have Terry, Luther, and Debo, or Debo, Jaden, and Travion?
Give me Travion Henderson, man. I need to change the pace back. Like that back contrasts well with Brian Robinson, man. I like Luther Burden, but I
agree.
Give me Travion too, for sure.
Yeah, we need a running back.
Hey, they talking Luther smooth out the first round.
Oh no, he's not a first round pick right now. He's not a first round pick. And I told you, I wasn't impressed with his combine. I wasn't impressed with his movement. And I think people are starting to see him as a limited wide receiver. Like, remember, Debo went in the second round, right? And a lot of people comp him to Debo Samuel in terms of his skill set, what he brings to the table. He was okay at the combine. He wasn't great, though. And I think in a receiver group that isn't dynamic, he didn't separate himself to me. So I could see him. He's a second round pick right now, for sure.
You couldn't have told me that this time last year that Luther Burden in a year from now will be going into the second round. I will be shocked, especially after what he was doing to us against my Georgia Dogs.
Yeah, it's amazing. The narrative is flipped on him, but again, somebody might actually get a really good player at a place in the draft where he shouldn't be. You never know. This happens every year where a guy's value falls and it falls right into the hands of a team that was like, oh, I didn't expect him to be here. Thank you. We'll see if he's that guy. Kyle W. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, John Keim tried to tuck his chain in today. Debo's wearing it. Y'all protect your neck. I'm going to just tuck mine in, bro. Y'all know what it is. Chauncey Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. OG, triple OG writes, 5 can't be our leading rusher this year. I think we all agree that we never want to see that again.
Yep.
I know Cliff is a pass first OC. We need 1,000-yard rusher this year, taking pressure off 5. They like 36. We got to be able to run the ball this year. I think we all are in agreement that Jaden can't lead the team in rushing again. My guy Derek B said Jaden's numbers from this year would have led the team in rushing each of the last 3 years, which is insane.
That's not
Wild.
good.
We haven't had 1,000-yard, but when he said that, I thought about it. I said, well, we haven't had 1,000-yard rusher since Antonio Gibson in his second year crept over a G.
Yeah, it's more so not even because Jaden Daniels is running for a lot of yards. It's just our running backs aren't reaching as many yards as they should, the 1,000-yard mark.
Too many games where running backs having like 19, 24 yards or something like that's not gonna get it. It's not gonna get her done, man.
Yeah, B-Rob was on pace. Like I said, in the episode 1 of Commanders Log, it looked like he was on pace for the way he was running. Then he missed a couple games. He was in and out. Then he was game time decision a couple games. And then he just got burnt out. Like he was not making anybody miss, and he was struggling to block. He just fell off a cliff towards the end of the season. So all 3 of his years, he's fizzled out at 799 yards, which is not bad, but it's just not good enough.
Now when your quarterback rushing for 896.
Yeah, I can't have that.
And then even Mariota led us in rushing when we played the Cowboys.
We can't have that.
It's too many of those games where it's 17 rushes for 45 yards. Like
it's not gonna do it.
It's like one of them ESPN topics. Is it more so because Jaden Daniels is that great, or our running backs are that bad? It's the running backs are just not performing. I would vote running back in that situation.
Yeah, we gotta be better, man. 202 Titus, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. So just skip my first super chat. We read your first one already, which is why you just doubled up.
Yeah, he has another one too. He has like a couple more coming.
Okay. We're gonna get to it, man. We getting
down.
The
we getting to him. Don't worry. Gearcell 1, and you got to read this, man. This is your boy Gearcell 1. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the $20 dono. Gearcell writes.
Deep Payne is who we thought he was, and we let him off the hook in 2022. He trains wearing simmering green dress socks with Oxon Hill. Shout out to Oxon Hill. Egg yolk slacks and a biscuit.
And what the hell are egg yolk slacks?
Tragic. Tragic.
Hey, simmering green and egg yolk got me dying.
Yo, this man said egg yolk slacks and a biscuit and gravy sweet tea vest.
You gotta call him a Bama gear, so.
The vivid imagery of these comments, bro. You got to write a joke book or something, bro. Because you come with it every time.
He's Shakespeare of our time.
Egg yolk slacks is next level, bro. Like that's crazy.
I know he could joan like crazy, man. Boy, that don't even sound fun to deal with.
Simmering green dress.
That does not sound fun to deal with in joning.
Simmering green.
No.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means, man. How did green simmer? Yeah, man, that can't be fun to Jones, man. He's too imaginative.
Oh man, that man said egg yolk slacks and a biscuit and gravy sweet tea vest.
Man, that's scary, bro.
Yo, I look forward to Gearcell's comments each week because they progressively get more vivid.
Yo, like you said, the imagery is off the charts with him, man. It's wild, bro. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rocky D writes, I have an eerie feeling we starting the first season game off against the Eagles. It wouldn't shock me. I'm starting to think less and less about that being us, but I wouldn't be shocked if it were. I'm starting to feel more like either we're going to Brazil against the Chargers or we're going to be on Sunday or Monday Night Football. I'm thinking it's less and like I think they're going to save that Eagles game.
Yeah.
For I'm not sure. The Eagles play the Chiefs in Kansas City, right?
I think the Lions are the target for week 1 for the Eagles. I think they host the Lions this year.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that. I don't think it's going to be us, but it wouldn't shock me if it was us. It would not shock me.
That'd be fun. We want the smoke.
You know, did y'all hear about the proposal the Lions made about
the seeding?
Switching the seeding. That would have netted us a home playoff game. And you know what's crazy is going back and watching the Commanders log and seeing and playing back the playoffs in my mind, we would have been better off being a 7th seed. If we would have got Philly in that first game, I think we would have beat them. They were not good against Green Bay. Remember, Hurts I think he was banged up. Remember, he was dealing with the concussions. He hadn't played in like 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
And he didn't look sharp in that game.
They looked sluggish as hell. They like slogged along in that game.
Yeah, if the Packers had anything, like if that was, I feel like if that was us or the Rams, they would have lost that game.
I'm looking at the Eagles' opponents right now. It's going to be the Lions. It's going to be the Lions or the Rams who they play week 1.
Think so?
Yeah.
Or us. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be the Rams. It's probably
we've done
the
that
Lions.
a couple of times.
But the Rams were the team that played them the toughest in the playoffs. So I could see them running that back.
Like snow, you know what I'm saying? That made a difference in that one.
Greg, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. What's up with y'all boys? What's up, Greg? Really appreciate you, man. Says, hope all is well. I see us opening the season on Monday Night Football. I can see that too. Like I said, it's either Eagles Thursday night. We on prime time. I'm just telling you right now. We on prime time. I will bet any amount of money we're on prime time week 1. They're not letting this Jaden Daniels thing just fizzle out, bro. They finna ride this train, right? He says either on the road versus KC or at home versus Denver. Who's y'all favorite day 2 wide receivers? I like both of those too, man. Those are good guesses. I don't know if you're gonna burn
Denver. I could really see the Denver one.
I could see Denver on Sunday Night Football week 1 or Monday Night Football week 1. I could definitely see that without question. That makes a ton of sense. Favorite day 2 wide receivers.
The Iowa State boys is up there.
Yeah. It's a number of receivers that make a ton of sense. Your boy that told us he was gonna light the combine.
Bond.
Like
Bond.
It's gonna be some dudes that's available. Like I said, the best of the best in this draft, value wise, is day 2.
Mm-hmm. Is Jalen Royals? That's my guy too, man. Jalen Royals.
Yeah, look, man, it's gonna be some dudes available day 2 if you're looking for a receiver. I just don't know if we're gonna be in that market or not.
Yeah, Trey Harris. I don't know if he's gonna fall to the bottom of the second.
I like him. The more so I've been watching a lot of
Ole Miss.
I've been watching a lot of Ole Miss, watching film, and the more I watch, like I haven't watched him in particular, but indirectly, I'm like, he's really good. I wouldn't mind him at all. So
it wasn't fun playing against him, I'll tell you that.
Hey, look, man, there's a good combination of size, speed, and ability there. I like him a lot. 202 Titus, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy 202 Titus, thank you for the $20 dono. Writes, what do you guys think about Dante Thornton Jr. in the later rounds? I think somebody else asked about him. It might have been 202 Titus who asked us about him earlier, and he feels like a one-trick pony right now. A guy that can get vertical, doesn't do really much else. But we could use some speed. So I think
6'5" running 4.30 is
he can pick him up and put him down. We've seen a lot of these dudes come in the league and not manifest into anything, because if the only thing you can do is run really fast in a straight line, teams can defend that, right? We know when he come in the game, we know what he coming in the game to do, right? So there needs to be some sort of nuance to your game, but we could sure use one of those dudes that can fly.
Yep.
We could use, and it's not going to take a first, second, or fourth round pick, which is what we have to draft him. You might be able to get him in the 6th round.
Day 3.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of speed, somebody's going to take a flyer on him. But he could be there in the 6th round potentially.
That's speed and size. That's checking a couple things. 6'5" running 4.30. You got someone's taking a flyer on that.
Yeah, no, without question. It just depends. The question is when, right? It's not if, it's when.
Yep.
You take a flyer on him.
And when he'll be good enough to contribute. Year 3, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can. And that's why you get pushed down the board, right? Is if you can't do much of anything else right now, it's hard for me to invest a day 2 pick on you, right?
Yep.
It's got to be a day 3 selection, because now I'm not expecting as much from you. So, Jake Fleming, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jake writes, I heard Micah's brother is fighting Jake Paul after LB.
Yo, have you seen the Lord Brunson and Terrence Parsons saga on Twitter? I had to run some of that on stream today, bro.
Yeah, those two are. I told my guy Derek B was asking me about. I said, man, I'm over them two dudes, boy. They've been going at it forever, bro.
They got a box at this point, bro. Because
that's what I'm saying. Like
they get some flagrant shit off to each other.
Man, you pass flagrant, bro. Like I'm like, what are we doing right now, man? Like, hey, any edge rushers y'all want to see us draft? Who should be our next jersey retirement? Do we even have anybody eligible for that? Like,
for what jersey? It'll be like Joe Theismann or something.
Yeah, they already.
Okay. I thought he was talking about like current players.
Oh, okay.
No.
Talking about the next one up.
You're probably right. He's probably talking about like the.
Yeah, it'll be Joey Tee. Since that 7's always off limits, they're gonna retire it. They're gonna retire it.
It wasn't off limits.
It was for Dwayne, right? Like, may rest in peace. But RICO'S is retired, right?
I believe so.
I think he was one of the dudes that was already retired. I think. So yeah,
you never know with this franchise. Yeah. We just tell the equipment manager not to, you know what I'm saying, not to let people have it.
In a while. Has anybody won 30? Because I know they respect
Eckler's wearing it right now.
Because I know they respect that guy to be Mitch. I know they love B Mitch.
Dexter Manley, he wore 72, right?
Yeah.
They just be giving that to anybody, and Charles Leno, all types of people.
Yeah, they ain't retiring that. It's
Theismann.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's probably Joey Tee for sure. Yeah. He was the last MVP player we've had.
Gary Clark's number's not retired, right? 84 is available.
No, I shouldn't say that. It was actually the kicker. No, they're not gonna retire Gary Clark's number. I don't think he.
Okay, so Joey Tee is up next if we talk about that.
I think so. I think it would be him because they were already kind of keeping his number off limits. Like we've had an 84 here, right?
Darvin Kidsey.
Yeah, look at that pull by
Ed being able to pull that off that fast is crazy.
That was wild. Like
Darvin Kidsey.
Hey, he was sitting on that fastball. I ain't even finished this. I ain't even finished the sentence. Darvin Kidsey. He was ready for that, bro. Any edge rushers y'all want to see us draft? Like we talked about a few of them earlier in the evening.
Ezaraku is the one I got my eyes on in round 1 for us. That boy is a pass rush specialist. He has a full bag, a full plan. Don't care if he's not great against the run. That is your professional pass rusher. He has it all and the production to match.
Yeah, he brings the juice. Pause to everything. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense too. Just to replace what we lost with Dante Fowler going back to the Cowboys. Again, to lose point, Jacob Martin maybe could step up to be that guy. But yeah, I mean we brought in enough edge set and run stuffers. It would be nice if we can get all of that in one guy that can rush the passer and set the edge. But you know, at this point, I'm prioritizing pass rush as one of our biggest needs right now.
Fox Hayes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Fox Hayes writes, Kings. What's up, Fox? JD5 only had a repeat OC once in college, and that second year was the Heisman. Now he will have a repeat OC again. Do y'all see the same thing happening?
MVP, baby.
Yeah. We've been talking about it on the program. I brought up where he is in the MVP voting. He's 5th right now, which kind of speaks to where he is in the NFL pantheon of not just quarterbacks, but players in general. So I could definitely see it happening. Like, again, the things he was able to do last season with a limited amount of weaponry around him was extraordinary. So I can't wait to see what he has in store for us in year number 2. Anybody got anything to add to that?
No, I love that he has the same OC because we've seen a lot of quarterbacks go through different offensive coordinators or different coaches and all kinds of stuff like that. I just like that him and Cliff, they get along really well too. And I think they're going to get better and open up the playbook even more. So I love that Cliff is coming back. He had a couple opportunities to leave too, but he chose to stay here. I think he's just better suited to be an OC as well. And I just love the chemistry that those guys got together. So the sky's the limit for those two.
Yeah.
MVP 5, man. MVP 5.
We got a campaign ready for him. If he ready for it, we ready. Jason Rogers, my guy, Uncle Jay. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes NJ2. Pause. Tread lightly, Lou. So I'm guessing that's New Jersey too, with the pauses. They be serious. I mean, I'm guessing it's all of that northeast up there. And I think Stephen Dent is going to piggyback off of that. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Stephen. My guy writes, "Sup, Kings? What up, Stephen?" Says, from DCPG, been in New York for 25 years. The New York pause is real. I say it just in case my dudes is listening. We had a pause wall at the Studio One. Guess who was in the top 5? Yo, it's crazy, man.
They can't even talk how much they have to watch themselves. It doesn't even like feel natural no more.
It starts to make me wonder a little bit. Like, man, why are y'all so concerned?
Yeah.
Are y'all all right, man?
Hey, that's that Diddy stuff, man. No Diddy.
Y'all comfortable in y'all own skin at this point, man?
Like they can't get through a segment without saying pause.
Well, somebody else comfortable in their skin. I don't know, man. Shadow Striker 789.
True.
Hey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, sheesh, Lou, come on. Jerry loves the beef. I said that intentionally. We all know Jerry loves the beef, man. I mean, he said it himself.
Beef ain't egregious, man, because you can use that both ways. So,
Hey, but Jerry's he's made it abundantly clear that he.
Oh yeah. He pays attention to meats, and sizes, and
right, all of that stuff, man. Had to pause the video since you clearly weren't pausing. I said that intentionally, and I had no intentions of pausing that one. That was intentionally done on behalf of Jerry, who loves the glory hole, as he once.
Oh God!
once eloquently said.
Lord,
that's old Jerry for you, right?
Good old Jerry.
Good old Jerry for you. Jerry. Speaking of Jerry, perfect transition to Jerry Williams. What's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Y'all remember that keep Sam Howell and get Marvin Harrison crowd?
Or draft Fashanu or alt.
Oh man, that crowd was insane, bro. We will never forget them. May they rest in peace. Because
Adam Peters wasn't going for that though.
Not at all. He took a lap. He said, "Hey, Sam, come walk with me, man." Took a lap around the facility real quick. Let him know.
Oh yeah.
Took a lap. Like, hey, come on, let me holler at you for a second, man.
Come here, Pepper.
Hey,
did we get like a third for Howell?
Yeah, we did like a swap and got a third for this man. Like,
that's insane,
bro. That's legendary stuff right there, man. He Judy Winslow'd his ass. Like,
yo, Peters has made like 8 trades since he's got here, bro.
No, he's not. He's shown that he's not afraid.
We're so aggressive. So when people are mad on his neck, like, man, we've made more trades than everyone in the NFL in the last calendar year. What are we talking about?
Yo, he is not afraid. We love that aggressiveness about him. He's going to do anything that he can to try to make this team better, even if you don't agree with it. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, if there was a parallel of generations of quarterbacks out of JD5, Caleb, Drake, and Penix, who would be their past comps? Example, I see Jared Allen as future Big Ben.
You mean like Josh Allen?
That's what I think he meant.
Yeah, because like I said, Jared Allen was a legendary pass rusher. I didn't see the correlation there.
I'm seeing Cam Ward Big Ben comps too. To some people have been saying that.
Really? I haven't heard that one. Let me see. It's hard. I don't know. Penix, I don't even want to put a right-hander on.
Right, you trying to think of a left-hander
that
you could I think with Penix, I would put a Boomer Esiason on him.
Are we talking about like high-end, like parallel versions of them?
Yeah, I would put Boomer Esiason on Penix.
I think Jaden is accomplice. I think Jaden is a one of a kind.
He's such a rare talent. Like, it's hard to, because he encapsulates a little of so many people's games
Yeah, a lot of people say Randall Cunningham. A lot of people are saying obviously Lamar. Those are the comps.
So it would be like he's not as fast as Lamar, but he's more accurate as a passer than Lamar.
Yeah, right? He's also faster than like every other quarterback in the league too, though. Like Drake May, I see like Phillip Rivers in him. Like if he like reaches everything and could get more structure in his game,
he's a much better athlete.
Yeah, he's like Phillip Rivers if he had wheels. Like as a passer, I see him like Phillip Rivers, but he can move. Like he's one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, I think he's athletic like Herbert. Herbert can be athletic at times.
Mm-hmm. He just refuses to run for some reason.
Yeah. Michael Penix kind of reminds me of like a left-handed, slightly like a Matthew Stafford a little bit. That's probably where I'm at with Michael Penix.
Yeah, because he refuses to move outside of the pocket. I can see it. Stafford's arm is unbelievable, though.
Yeah, I'll put maybe like a step behind his arm, but Michael Penix deep ball is ridiculous. Even coming out of college, it was always Jaden or Michael Penix best deep ball in the draft class. Even with stronger arm guys like Drake May and Caleb Williams, it was just so I don't know. These are tough because it's kind of like ceiling, or are we talking about what we project them to end up being?
Right.
Like, do we ever think they'll reach that?
Because when I used to do comps, I would think of like the first person that popped in my head when I watched a player. But sometimes it'd be a dude like Jeff Garcia. They'd be like, what? You know, people would start losing their mind. I'm like, Jeff Garcia wasn't ass. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he wasn't trying. Like his peak, he was really good.
But, you know, when you hear that, you're thinking, bro, you trying to get me to spend the number 3 pick in the draft on Jeff Garcia. Like, that's what they hear when you say that. Like, you can't justify that at that point. You're like, I mean, no, I'm not trying to, but okay, I get it now. Paul Kyoko, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Paul writes, y'all keep cracking me up. A+ entertainment, man. We
always, Paul.
Paul, man, thank you so much for the support and the over 800 of y'all as we're 3 hours in, man. We really, truly do appreciate you guys. So, any last thoughts before we get out of here, fellas? Wrapping up this show. Make sure y'all to watch episode 2 of season 4 of the Commander Vlog.
It's glorious.
I got some homework.
Yes.
I might watch it again just so I could talk about it with y'all one more time.
Yo, it was so good, man. Like, you can't go wrong. I was weak because the first person comment is Rio's comment at the top. Like, I needed that for my soul. like Rio was so deep.
I'm telling you,
I needed
man,
that for my soul. If some Campbell's soup.
I'm gonna knock on wood after I say this, but when I say like, fam, if we were to never go back, we would be chasing this high for the rest of our lives. And I'm gonna knock on wood right now.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling y'all, that season is like one of the best ever. And you didn't win. That's the part that sucks. Like in that, you're gonna hear Bram say, this team is after we beat Detroit, this team is no longer playing with house money. That's gone. This is a team of destiny. Who didn't feel that after we beat Detroit?
Absolute chills, bro.
Who didn't feel that, bro?
Nobody could tell. I was so confident going into that Philly game.
Man, who you telling, bro?
And then the first drive of the game, until we kicked the field goal, I was like,
for it on 4th down twice and got both of them.
Took half the quarter.
Why you ain't go for it again?
Took half the quarter from him. Jaden was doing what Jaden do. Oh my God, you couldn't tell me. And then the Saquon carry happened, and I immediately started reality started kicking in at that point,
bro. That 60, like, it took the wind out of your sails because we, like you said, we took half the quarter, bro. Like, they had to realize, oh shit, we in a fight today, right? And then Saquon bust off that run, and it's just like, uh-oh. Like, his first 2 carries were touchdowns.
Yep.
You're like, come on, bro.
Nasty, man.
And that's always so scary because it's like if you focus on stopping him, then passing game just gonna
and then Jalen Hurts started dotting us up, and that hurt my soul because Lord,
we were playing.
Man,
it ain't like the one throw he made. I had to be like, okay, that was a damn good throw. It was a 4 for 5.
Put that game on one more time and just watch the last 2 minutes of the first half. So many thoughts are gonna run through your mind. So many thoughts are gonna run through.
Bro, it's insanity. You score the touchdown. They go down. They get the points, right? They kick it off to us, and we fumble. They're supposed to kick a field goal. They get Mikey for the 15-yarder, right? Like, you're like, come on, bro.
It all starts, you just got to freeze frame it at 14-12 at the 50-yard line. Yeah. 4th and 5 from the 50-yard line. Lattimore just gets, oh my God.
I don't know what happened on that play because somebody said his face man, like the way he fell, you would have thought that my man hit him with a taser or something. Like that's not even a natural movement he made after AJ beat him off the line of scrimmage.
It wasn't.
It was like, bro, what are you doing? That was a hell of a throw, though. He still had to make the throw. That is the most egregious holding penalty I've ever seen in my life. Not called on that 4th down throw.
It was on Louvu, right?
Oh yeah,
Saquon.
It's Saquon like hog tying this man. He was beat.
I hate to keep thinking about what would have been, but Jaden getting the ball down 2 at the 50 with a minute and some change left. Oh my gosh, man.
It hurts.
Well, so it wouldn't have been if they'd have called that penalty. They'd have had to punt the ball. We'd have to start like probably not on inside on, but still, he was cooking them boys.
He went up there in 30 seconds with no timeouts.
No timeouts, and we got us a field goal, man.
Like, he's different, man. I love that guy.
Anyway,
we got one more super.
Yeah, Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Rocky. Right, Rio. You know I gotta ask, when are you and Lake gonna break the internet again?
It's coming back soon, man. He'll be back on the channel next week. Hopefully he got some nuggets for me. But we're gonna do our thing, and maybe something will take off again. We won't see.
You can't fake that, right?
Yep, that's natural. You
can't fake that juice, right, Ed?
Something just juice, Ed and juice, man. Ed and juice.
You want to say pause on that one?
Yeah. I guess we gotta.
It's time to call it a night, guys. It's time to get them out of
here. Hey, anybody got anything to add before we get out of here?
I'm cooling, man. What about y'all?
Yeah, we're getting ready for the draft. They'll probably do some off-season workouts coming up, and hopefully they sign an athletic freak or something.
Athletic freak. Foster Sorrell.
Right.
Hey, well, y'all know what it is, man. We appreciate y'all for kicking it with us for over 3 hours, man. We cannot begin to explain how truly appreciative we are for all of your support, man. Without y'all, this does not exist.
Nope.
Thank you once again for kicking it with us, sharing a little bit of time with us, man. And until next time, y'all know what it is. If you're coming at these Kangs, you best not miss. Until next time, you guys have a good one. Take care. Peace.
We out. Another banger, y'all. Another banger.